As we are once again alive upon the internet. As we appear to be, let's make sure that everything is correct and such, and kind of making a hobbled start quickly because actually I wasn't planning on jumping on now until I actually read when the dev stream is. Usually it's around 4-ish my time. This time it's around 2:30-ish. So yeah. Instead jumping on a little earlier just to catch that together. Let me actually see, because they're just going to be on the division game, I'm guessing, right? Yeah. So let's how to play. Yeah, let's find the live stream channel. There we go. That's this one, right? Yeah. Wait, was there last? Oh, they have. Oh, your recent broadcast. Okay. Yeah, this is that. I was like, wait, this is. That's a long while ago. But yeah, we'll have that. We'll have that in the background, ready and such. But yeah, we're gonna work on some spreadsheets and get some things ready for the refactor thing. And then we'll come back to this when it is up and running. Yeah, there's a thing I want to make first.
Entering safe area.
As it is needed to rebut someone. But that shouldn't take long, and then we're gonna work on this refactor one a little bit more. Just everything is in its place. Keep thinking of maybe rejigging this to be side by side versus each other. Might still do that. Also, it's kind of fine like this. The thing with it is I've put the builds separately, but actually the way we're trying to compare them is like the refactor weapon versus the high-end weapon and stuff like that, yeah, with the skill builds. But first I want to put something together here. I was gonna just do this by my lonesome, but for that I need to have the Lengmo stats. I'm just gonna remake basically the top part of this. Although I might just straight up take this, because actually nothing's changed since here, right? Yeah, this is January, so this is basically up to date. Because if I do this and just check the stats against this. So yeah, for now, Coyote in the right ranges. ATTA, yeah. So let's just copy over these stats basically, and let's take the base. Although actually we can just make it a new here, just so we make sure no error makes it across, and then we'll double check it against the other. So is 100 plus 70 plus whatever's in that field. Is 49.5 plus 10. Is 141 plus 10. 25. And so yeah, we have 25, or well, no, 35 and So I should remove those two. We're all gonna have LMGs here, so 85. This. And yeah, 30 amp. And the DTEC is gonna be 22 on some of these. Well, actually, yeah, only on some of these. So here we'll just do it with 22 here. And here as well. So we have 8. So that's here. Okay. This can go. So yeah, this is Lengmo Bestie Lengmo Thick and Lengmo Bye. Yeah, let's go grab the graded Bestie here. Check the numbers against that. Yeah, let's actually go and double check these numbers and then we'll calculate the tick from that one. Let's make it invulnerable elite. Oh, actually, I just need that. Oh no, I need. That at full. So need damage number on. So lost my. It's the annoying thing with Ensemble Force when you're trying to calculate it. So 311, 305. What's off here? 3 and 828. Okay, so something. Oh, Coyote. Although that's for the crit. Oh, it's 25, of course. Where you're running Lengmo chest. Because that shouldn't matter for the white damage. 311. Actually, we lowered it there. Of course. 17. No. That was fine. That was fine. Am I using the graded weapon? I am. 5. Let's double check that that stat is correct. 125 plus 70. Yeah. 35 to the weapon damage. What am I forgetting? 20. 12 plus 8. At 22. There we go, 288. I've made that exact mistake before as well. Doing like basically double the on the weapon hits basically. So 782 on the hits. On armor. Oh, we don't have DTA in here. 100% DTA rate. So first full. 311, 782. Yeah, that checks out. 1047. Yeah, that all checks out. Okay. So this all checks out. And then our tick was actually, let's already get our tick number as well. So we know. One, that number, that'll stay there. Okay, so this is this number times 5. Yeah. So this RPM. Actually, how did I do it here? I'll say let's have a peek over here. Just catch up for a second. And hey, there's me, and hey, the Kerfist, and Master Hitman, and Tim. How long till dev stream? 12 minutes. Although likely they'll start with seeing as they haven't. Oh no, have they started a timer? Oh yeah, no. Okay. So yeah, in 10-ish minutes there. Let's already make a scene for that. Because let's already prep this with that gun. Yeah, we'll play around with it once. So yeah, we'll be ready for when that goes in. But yeah, let's finish up this real quickly. I'll look at it then before that starts. So let's get RPM in. So 9.35. What 100 and 4.13. Basically did like that, but and that might confuse some people. Let's actually just do this, and then this is this, just like that. And then this is actually the same as here. Let's pull this one up actually up here. By 4.6. This is with other DTA numbers and stuff. Yeah, so that makes sense. So if I do this 100 and 100 and 532. Oh, actually, I have it down here. So this one, 1558. Yeah, so and then 9631 for the burst. Oh, we're doing 10%. That should right there. Yeah. And I'm curious to see what they'll answer in there. Because this time as well, they did the smart thing and took questions up front instead of of after. Let's put this best back in the stash, and yeah, let's go get the other side of this discussion, which is an OD. Actually, I should maybe even take a screenshot of this. Put it there. And then snippet. Yeah, let's go to OD. Yeah, let's go here.
Safe area entered.
Or best thing. OD. Say this is just for a discussion that some idiot is having with me, so we'll beat them. We'll beat them down with some actual numbers. So let's grab Coyote here. Let's grab that bestie from the stash. Y25. There we go. You know what I should do? Let's go over here. Although, yeah, it's 5 more minutes. Let's quickly see if I can get a little bit of this in. Actually, I should do that. Is 6 armor damage roll better than CC roll on LMG? CC as in CHC? No. Overall, in most cases, no. There is only a few places where a DTA makes sense. It's only really if you're kind of like making the pesty tick do things sometimes, like for instance with that triple tick. Actually, so for instance, not even in the Lengmo setup. There you still want a crit chance. And same for if you're like doing special things with like status effects alongside of it. Again, triple take. Like if the DTA is also applying to something else than just the gun. Because otherwise, if you're just in a build that already is going for crit chance, crit damage, crit chance is going to give you the best results after, because we already have detox. So detox is like the strongest stat in that pool. CHC is the second strongest. Third strongest is rate of fire, and it goes down the list like that, basically. What can you swap out if teammates already use Coyote? On which, or like any specific build? Generally, whatever damage brand bonus you don't have yet. So, for instance, if it's in Striker and you have Cheska, you can go Group or Fenris. If you, once we get the Tinkerer, swapping out to the Tinkerer is going to be the thing. You can't even go, for instance, swapping in either on Bloody Knuckles or Exodus or what's the whistle called again that I'm blanking on again? Centurion, yeah. I was going to say Legionnaire, but that's just because Legatus was in my brain for a second there. And yeah, one of the spammers, let's get them out of here. But it's basically whatever damage bonus you don't have yet. So that depends kind of on the build. So for instance, on that bestie, I would go Grupo or Walker Harris maybe. And then on others. That's kind of handy with them. Oh yeah, Eagle's Grasp can be a swap in. But Eagle's Grasp as well kind of loses you one stat, so it's usually not like you just swap that, and you also then need to swap in a crit chance somewhere. Thing with all of the other ones is that you swap them in, and it's kind of more damage there. Because if there is already 2 or 3 coyotes, generally as well, like 1 isn't enough. 2, like if you're the second one, I would say keep being coyote, but it's more like when it becomes a third and such, which in Countdown happens quite a bit. Instead of tick? No, I mean, it's the tick. Because it's specifically, it's tick. It's not the time of it is not included here per se. Because this is the tick, and then this is its DPS. Its damage per second. If we're being pedantic. But also, yeah, we could go with either. But here specifically, I wanted to say tick because that's the, like, how much it ticks for. Because some people also don't know that it's like once per second. Just because there's other things in this game that aren't once per second. These are cap. Actually, yeah, let's just do it like that. That's already what I'm doing. Google thingy. Okay. Yeah. Let's go to here though. Hey.
And we are live. Welcome,
Perfect
agents. My name is Leonardo Lorenzoni, Leo Lorenzoni for some. Still new ComDev from The Division 2. This is my second stream. But I'm here with a veteran from the community, someone that you guys know for a long time, the creative director, Yannick. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, well, yeah. And like you're not new anymore. When it's your second stream,
yeah,
you're already a veteran. You came through the trials of fire. So
we have some new people in our staff today, so I can consider this a new another opportunity for new people to show up in the Division stream. So today we have a Q&A Q&A session with you all. We have some questions in our Twitter and our X. Actually, I need to remember that the platform.
Oh no, so I mean, actually, I have 4 posts at some point.
You
but
guys send us
that one's out of date.
Questions
from a long time ago.
We'll try to answer the majority of them today. Also, we are going to pick some questions from the chat. So if you have questions that we are not covering, topics that we're not discussing here, please make sure to drop on your questions in our chat, and our team will select them so we can answer them later. Also, we have some special guests today, like just some small participations of some people who submit their questions through video. So this is the funnest possible Q&A session we ever had, because we need to make sure that we answer questions, but trying to give something cool for you to see as well. So
I like Q&A because I don't have to do anything. I'm just sitting here and I'm just going to try to answer questions the best way I can. I don't even have to play and have people mock me for my my bad gameplay.
I noticed that. But also,
you notice what, my bad gameplay? Or?
No. I noticed how nervous you are when you're trying to play and answer questions at the same time.
I think I heard that you said you noticed my bad gameplay. Well, say goodbye to Leo. 2 streams. That was a good streak.
Sorry. See you later. But we are 6 days away from Brooklyn. That's an important point in our trajectory.
6 days.
So far in our journey,
Still
we
Brooklyn.
are about to release a new DLC after so long time. We're about to release the first season of Year 7. It's an important moment for us, and we try to cover the most questions we got from these specific topics.
I said
so
that.
obviously we're
I
going
usually
to
do
cover
actually this
some
usually.
generic, questions as well about the game, or other aspects that it's not related to seasons or the new DLC. But I think what's the most important is that we try to get the questions that were most frequent or that are going to talk about aspects of the two features that we want to talk as well. We want to make people aware of. So I think the first one is one of the most asked in our socials is, when will pre-orders for the DLC begin? That's a tricky one, because I know that you're the creative director. You're not responsible for publishing. So
I don't sell it.
Yeah,
I make it.
If you allow, I can answer that. So let's start this Q&A with me answering. Actually, the DLC will not be available for pre-order because
they might answer something here.
This is not the way that DLCs works here. The DLC will be available for you to buy on May 27th. 8 a.m. from Central European summertime. And if you want to wish list it, you can do this through UB Store. So just making sure that you're not missing anything. We didn't forget to make it available for pre-order. Everybody's gonna get access to the DLC at the same time, May 27th next
Good.
week.
No pre-order bonuses and stuff as well, which always.
Second question, Yannick: does the Day 1 physical Gold Edition include the Brooklyn DLC? Considering the new Gold Edition has different content.
That one is for me.
Okay. I want to know if you know that.
Yeah, the answer is no. If you bought the Gold Edition back in Day 1, you will not get the DLC included for free. Only the new Gold Edition will include it. So you will have to buy the DLC separately.
Awesome. Next question: will Brooklyn be like Warlords of New York originally and lock us into the location until the story is completed, or we will be able to travel freely between Brooklyn, Manhattan, and DC?
No, you will be able to travel freely. We are not going to lock you into the campaign. You can go to Brooklyn.
Yeah, that would suck as well with Scout and stuff.
You can go back to DC or Manhattan, do your thing, play the season, then go back to Brooklyn, keep going. Your progression in the campaign is going to be saved. And the reason why we're not doing that is we don't need to. We did it with Warlords of New York because that was a level 30 to 40 progression. And so we had to make sure that you stayed within that progression because the rest of the game wouldn't have been able to handle that. But we don't need that with Brooklyn because it's all level 40 anyway. So you're free to... you don't have to do it in one go. You're free to move as much as you want.
Perfect. So now we're going to talk more about the story of this DLC. I would like to ask you to not spoil it for me because I haven't played Brooklyn yet, and I guess the majority, if not all, of our audience tonight has not as well. Tonight? So I think I mastered the right progression for Division 2 because since I joined Massive, I've been playing on my free time, and now I'm reaching to the end of the main campaign. So I think going to Brooklyn like next week is gonna be like perfect mesh into this.
Are you level 40 yet?
I am. No, I'm not. I'm level 26 maybe, so I have this weekend to finish and just
14 levels in a.
Give that man a vacation. Let him get to the end.
Yeah, for sure. I guess my wife is gonna be super happy with me grinding all of those levels. All right, so let's talk about some of the story aspects. But the first question we got is actually from a player. It's from Hunter451. And that's the video he recorded, so let's see what he prepared for us.
Wow, again.
Hello, Division 2. Hunter451 here with this lovely backdrop of Utah behind me. My question for the team is, with the theme of sometimes you have to go back to the beginning in order to see how far you've come, can Division 1 veterans expect subtle nods to their old characters, or maybe even some story that perhaps was cut from the original game? Thank you.
All right.
All that for that question?
Beautiful backdrop there.
Yeah. Utah. Okay.
With the wash.
Do you have a good answer for that? Because Brooklyn is the place from the beginning of Division 1, so the story must be at least, I wouldn't say connected, but like people will recognize things, right?
Yeah, I mean it's we're going to Brooklyn for a reason. It would be a missed opportunity to go to Brooklyn and not have any references to Brooklyn as we knew it last time we saw it.
Kendall is there.
I'm sure you all know that, but Brooklyn was where the adventure began in the Division 1. This was the tutorial area in Division 1, and that part of the map is it exists in the Brooklyn DLC. We rebuilt it. We've remade it entirely. But it's still, there's a lot of references, there's a lot of Easter eggs, there's a lot of connections with the map as it was. Actually, the very street, the very spot where you created your character in Division 1 exists in the Brooklyn DLC. The room where some of you had to queue to actually activate your agents to get access to the laptop, that room exists. So there's a lot of references. Some of them we're going to guide you to, others that are just for you to find out. So there's you'll find a lot of those.
Cool. And the first question we got from this section that is not a video is: will the narrative events introduced in Brooklyn continue to play a role beyond this DLC? Can we expect a long-term expansion in the game world?
I mean,
story. So Brooklyn is an isolated story, and it still takes place in the same timeline. It still takes place, after the events of season 3 of season 3.
It's $15.
But that being said, it is a disconnected story.
One of the early,
it is still the same characters. It is still the same world. It is still the same events. So I don't want to spoil too much, but yes, there are connections.
Like the pre-recorded packages
they put if you've played the seasons. The idea is the story should be understood even if you haven't. But if you have, you will be able to go through layers deeper and understand even more. And ultimately, yes, this converges and it reconnects to the greater story.
Yeah, the next question
is just going to be that season
and story in Brooklyn tie into the seasonal manhunts, or is it a standalone? You kind of answered that as well.
Yeah,
but
it's kind of like Wony.
I think it's also an opportunity we have here to discuss how everything is kind of connected in the same time. Like May 27, we will not just bring Brooklyn, but we will also bring the new season called Crossroads, and we're going to have a lot of features that resonates about Brooklyn and the old days in Division 1. So I think it is a separate story, but also it's much
we're basically getting two stories, right? Because we're getting season plus.
You re-experience. I mean, throughout the entire update and season, you will re-experience things from Division 1, and that's also kind of why the season is called Crossroads, because this is the convergence of the old and the new. So we have the Brooklyn experience. It's a transformed Brooklyn. It's a completely new story, a completely new space, but it still has the footprint of what Brooklyn was in Division 1. The season modifiers, as you know, are also inspired by Division 1 mechanics, but yet it is modifiers, it is new experiences for the game as well. So it's really trying to nod.
Wonder if they will put out any numbers in
story
this,
and our legacy, but
like
also
streamline
towards the future. And there's a really bright future ahead of us.
Exciting. Talking about the past and a little bit about the world designing and how we built it, the question is: was Brooklyn built from scratch or on top of the existing Division 1 map?
Yeah, I think I touched on that, but no, it was rebuilt from scratch. So I mean, we took the Division 1 map as a reference. We wanted to make sure we have the same streets, we have the same buildings, we have all of that, but we had to rebuild it.
But it's also based on
different version of the engines, different metrics, everything is different. So we can't just copy paste something from Division 1 into Division 2. It was easier and faster to rebuild it. Now I just want to be clear, the map of the DLC is not just the space of the Division 1 map, because I've seen some people commenting on that. It is bigger than that. So we've added on top of it, so it's not just the space you explored in the first game. There is more streets.
Who thought that? The map is out there.
Name zone also to explore.
Awesome.
So you can just overlay both maps.
This question, I know I've been here just for a few weeks, but I know that people really like this one. Is the Brooklyn DLC going to have dynamic weather like rain, dry weather, and snow?
That's a nice, elegant way to try.
They've already shown it's like
no question in there. Brooklyn is set in autumn, so there is dynamic weather in the sense that there is rain, there is sun, there is fog, there's weather presets that you know and are used to. There are some that we've tweaked and adjusted or brought to the game to align with the autumn setting. But it is autumn; it's not winter, so there will not be snow.
Okay, another question that I've seen a lot as well. Is there a land connection between Brooklyn and the downtown areas? So can people go to New York?
No, you can't. You cannot directly travel between Brooklyn and New York. You will have to fast travel for that.
Okay. Next question. Are there any plans to make proper use of the Brooklyn map after we finish the storyline, such as daily, weekly projects, invaded missions, etc.? So I think about the replayability of the DLC, right? People will purchase the DLC next week and they will speed run the campaign, what we can offer to them later.
There's a lot of replayability in the DLC. First, excuse me. When you when you finish the story, there's more to unlock. There's more exploration. There's collectibles. There are world bosses. There's a hunter. So there's a lot more to discover and to unlock if you want to complete it 100%. But after that, there is replayability in a sense that you can replay the missions. We talked about the world missions, which is our new version of side missions, are replayable. They are replayable with difficulty settings, so that you can do. We also have targeted loot that is actually added there. So that's going to be interesting, especially with the world missions, because they are bite-sized, very short. Especially in replay, they're probably going to get shorter and shorter as people get more used to speed running them. So that's going to be probably a very efficient way to get targeted loot. And then that's also going to be, if you own Battle for Brooklyn, that can be integrated into the rest of the experience. For example, you will have
that'll be nice, more targeted loot spots by itself.
So if you want to play and grind in Brooklyn, you can do that. Now we're not going to have invasion as in the Washington map. That's not something we're planning to bring, but there will be the systemic replayability that you can expect from the game. The open world also has all the living world systems, and then depending on how it goes, we could potentially expand on that and add more things to Brooklyn if people really want more reasons to come back to that map.
All right. Now the question is: we will see a new incursion coming as an offsite mission in Brooklyn later on?
That's not the plan. And if we were to do another incursion, I don't think we would necessarily limit it to Brooklyn, but be more interesting to have something that is available to everyone. But we're not planning a new incursion right now.
Okay. Will we see more than one exotic item in Brooklyn?
No, we've just made one exotic item. We don't necessarily want to have too many exclusives behind what ultimately is paid content. We made that one exotic item because we thought that was a fun opportunity also to have something that is thematically, gameplay-wise related to the DLC itself. It's very much about status effect and fire and how do you fight fire with fire. So it made sense, but we don't necessarily.
They should make when they have pre-made
so now
questions like this. They should have it
boost because
behind
that's them. A big topic that a lot of people have been discussing. Obviously, that we're gonna touch the topic of scavenging points later on, but the level 40 boost had raised a lot of questions, and I'm gonna make them for you now. Yep. Is it unlimited use? So can I do more than one?
Well, if you own the DLC, yes, you can.
Can I use in 4 characters?
You can boost as many characters as you want. You can create 4 characters that are going to be level 40. You can just delete them, create new ones. So yeah, it's unlimited.
Okay. When boosting to 40, does it unlock all weapons mod blueprints as well?
Well, you will have to get them.
Okay.
You're not going to get them directly.
Will the level 30 boost still exist?
Yeah, it still exists. So we're not removing it. It's part of the Warlords of New York experience also, because Warlords of New York still has a level 30 to 40 progression. So we are not removing it.
Well, it doesn't.
What's the value of boosting to 30 if you can boost to 40? I don't know, but there's no reason to remove it.
Yeah.
Okay. Will there be an option screen when create a new character to boost or play from scratch?
Yeah, I mean, when you create a character, you get, it's the case already right now. And like when you create a character, you can choose between starting from the Washington DC campaign or play the Warlords of New York campaign. If you choose Warlords of New York, you will directly start at level 30. So here it's going to be the same. We just add the third option. So you can choose to start your character directly from the Brooklyn experience and you will be level 40. Otherwise, when you're in game, if with your existing character, if that character is not level 40 or not level 30, if you go to the helicopter pilot and decide to say that you want to play Brooklyn, then we will ask you, are you sure? If you go there, you will be boosted to level 40. So that's your choice.
All right. What's the next one? What if characters is already in progress? How will they choose to boost to 40?
Well, that's, as I said, you will go to the helicopter pilot, and there you will get the choice. Do you want to go to New York and play Warlords of New York? Do you want to go to Brooklyn and play the Battle for Brooklyn? Yeah. And once you choose that,
do you want to build a slow man?
Give you warnings that you're going to be boosted to 40.
What will the level 40 boost actually break
you will not
beyond
get to experience because some of that is
that same
to
echo
the progression. Not in Brooklyn, but in the rest of the game. But once you've confirmed, you will land in Brooklyn with level 40.
Okay.
Everything else is gettable.
If a player wants to experience the story chronologically, what path do you recommend?
Well, I mean, start from the base game, play all the missions, play the invasion, then play the episode missions in the order, and then Warlords of New York, and then Brooklyn.
So pretty much the way that we really...
You forgot legacy missions.
If you have time, play the climax missions.
There we go. Hey, he knows his shit.
It takes a lot of time, but if you really want to re-experience everything, that would be the correct way to do it.
All right.
And incursions and raids as well.
More about gameplay. Will any of the new missions have legendary difficulty? If not, is it possible for the future?
No, they will not have legendary difficulty. They have the regular difficulty settings. As to adding more legendary, and I think that's not just for Brooklyn, that's for the
also that would suck for non-paid players.
That's not off the table. We just need to find the right way and the right time to do it. But that's something we're interested to explore.
Now, a question that I got a lot in our forums and also I've been seeing in the chat as well. Given that we're returning to Brooklyn, will the Lexington be brought back for players who miss it?
But Lexington isn't in Brooklyn. It's in New York.
Okay.
Maybe not Brooklyn itself, but yeah, we may bring it back here.
Okay. What can we expect from this DLC that the first one in New York didn't have?
That's a very big question.
Mechanics?
How many hours do you have? No, I mean these are two very different. These are different things. It's a new story. It's a new map. It's a new setting with that.
The world missions, the new control
new
points.
Ingredients. You have a new skill. New York had new skills as well. Brooklyn has a new one. It's more of the same in a way, but everything is fresh and everything is rebuilt. So that's what we have. Then we have a few new ingredients. As I said, the replayable world missions, that's a completely new thing that we didn't have. So until now, when you did side missions, you did them once and that was it. Now you will get to replay them. We also have like ingredients on control points, for example, that unlock with the control point alert level. That's a new gameplay tweak that didn't exist. The corrosion mechanic of the cleaners with the purple flame is also something new. So there's a few new ingredients that exist here that are going to be completely new to the game.
All right. The final one about Brooklyn that we got is are there surprise in the DLC you haven't talked about yet that you want
You're not going to hear anything PvP here.
Like, yes.
But also, no.
If we haven't,
you're in a minority of a minority.
There's the surprise about
because a lot of PvP players, even as well, don't want them to really
Yes.
They want a few things removed, but they don't want them to actually
those are not real questions.
spend their
All
time
of those
balancing there
questions
because
are
of the
real
interest.
questions that we got through the forums.
But they're not going to hear anything
A lot of them
PvP.
I had to rewrite in a way that it's presented.
But also, just because you're not interested in PvE is
no when, like. But the idea here is that we got a lot of questions from the community, a lot, like a massive amount of questions, and we not only picked the most frequent, but also some of them that we thought we could have a good opportunity here to discuss. And we also will see now another special participation, another new phase here. That's actually like we got all types of questions, and I think this video pretty much summarized the type of questions we got. So yeah, check this out.
Will there be cats, and can we pet them?
Yeah, that's it. So we got from Isabel,
asking the important
our
question
from our community. So I think people are always thinking about the wildlife in the division, and the question is, will there be cats in Brooklyn?
Well, my question is, why not the real cat in the arms? And you coward. Yes, we have cats as wildlife. That's not new. We've had cats already. They are pretty rare. They are pretty good at hiding. They exist. We also
there's a whole safe house
a couple of cats that exist in the settlement, in the bridge, that have been placed there. So you will have to find them. No, you cannot pet them.
Okay. All right. So now let's talk about year 7 again. If you have more Brooklyn questions, you can ask in the chat, and then we go through some questions of the chat in the end of this Q&A session. The first question about the seasonal content is: are there plans to make seasons more dynamic by introducing rotating events, unique challenges?
But I'm allergic to cats. Actually, I'm not, but. Hypothetically, I'm allergic to cats.
Question, but
I can't play it now.
We're not only going to a new season, but we're going to also a new year. So what can we expect for this?
Yeah, so I mean, we haven't talked much about year 7 yet. We've given some initial thoughts, but yeah, we want to keep evolving the season model and the season formula. We want to keep building on Seasons 2.0 and all the good things that it brought, and improve the things that still need to be improved. And part of that is, yes, in terms of promise and of fantasy, we want to push the season from season to season. So we want to have something that is a bit stronger, that is a bit more appealing, that is a bit more cohesive. So taking all the different ingredients of the season and try to align them behind a specific fantasy. And that also means bringing new experiences. So not just modifiers, but also potentially new gameplay experiences. So these are all things that we would like to do, and we are trying to move towards. So we just need to structure ourselves and make sure we can deliver on that. But overall, yes, the intention is to have more original experiences with each season.
The next question is pretty much related. I think you covered the majority of the answer. Is: do you see future seasons, offering gameplay features beyond modifiers, like experimental modes that could become permanent, similar to Countdown? I think you touched a lot in this, but yeah. Experimental modes is...
Yeah, I mean, we want to try things. I think the great thing with seasons is they are starting to shape up now with the modifiers already, but more things that we're going to do in year 7 is we're going to be trying and experimenting with gameplay experiences, as I said earlier. So if something really sticks, if something is really popular and people like it,
can't tell you. Can't say it.
We could consider leaving it in the game or bringing it back at a later date in a different version. So people will find that seasons are going to be much more, disruptive one after the other in this year compared to what we've done until now. It's not just a fresh coat of paint. It's really we want a different proposition with each season.
Okay, another question about year 7. Will there be any new raids?
Will there be any new raids in year 7? We haven't talked about raids. We don't have plans to bring a new raid just yet.
Okay. Will apparel events finally return next season?
Finally return on the anticipation of apparel events. We are looking at it. We're considering it. If they come back, it's going to be a different proposition. We want something that's the gameplay part of it
I mean, he says that, but then they did the Brooklyn Cash thing here.
Vampire Events was just having this collection event where there's a lot of things to acquire, and you get to play what you want and get extra rewards. So we want to keep the essence of that, but we need to find a better gameplay proposition. So it's not just grind and get keys for a chance to get a pair of boots. So we need to find the right formula, but yes, we are looking at bringing something that would be akin to what Vampire Events used to be.
Okay, in the Year 7 showcase, you mentioned a new wrapper for open world activities. Can you elaborate on that? This is actually a real question. I didn't edit this question. It was written just like that.
I mean, that's the terms they used.
Well, how much?
What?
Can I elaborate on that without spoiling too much? No, what we want is we want to try to make the open world a bit more interesting. We want to make it a bit more more dynamic and reacting to what you do.
Pauses that
and really turn the open world into a
loaded and more
DLC should not just about edit convoys or these kind of things, but
actually difference between 15 and 10, it'll be 10 in like 6 months. It'll be 5 in
more akin to missions or things like that in terms of how much content we're talking about. So yes, it's a new proposition.
But also what they're talking about here, like a value proposition of $15. Like $15 is
but it's really about
barely anything, especially now that like mainline games are 80. But it's just versus their cosmetics, it's like less than a cosmetic in there.
Okay. I really don't want to go more in that because I'm feeling that you're almost spoiling them. Will a similar Brooklyn activation cache be returning in the upcoming season pass?
Well, stretch goals.
Yeah,
because that's stretch goals.
That was
it would be weird if it was
yes, we will bring back stretch goals every season. Not immediately. We want to kind of keep it the way we've done this time. So that means that towards the end of the season, we will enable stretch goals and allow people to get them. Now, what will be in the caches? Like every season, the stretch goals will have different rewards. So what you've seen this season doesn't necessarily mean that this is going to be the rule moving forward. We are still going to have to calibrate a bit and see what are the right things we want to do. But yes, they will come back.
Okay. Going out to talk about more gear and gameplay balance, is Tinker in the season pass or in a climax mission? So I think people really like that during the PTS. They're eager to know when they will be able to play with. So season pass or climax mission?
It is climax mission.
Climax mission. So you need to wait till the end.
You have to wait a bit.
Yeah. Will all existing blueprints, exotic and non-exotic, be farmable in the open world and no longer locked behind modes like Descent?
No.
I mean, most blueprints are farmable. There are some that we're still missing, and we're adding them. We actually had discussions about adding all the old ones that are still missing. So this is moving forward.
Yeah. That fixed a few in the PTS already.
I think the exception is the named blueprints, and those are on Descent right now. We have to see where. We also like to have predictable sources for some of the stuff, so not everything is just added to one big pool, and then your chance of getting that one thing you want is diluted by a million different possibilities. So we have to see, but right now we're not planning on expanding on that, but that could come eventually if needed.
With the new measured assembly gear set,
I just want my
the new
bench to be full.
Assembly gear set destroy grenades too, like Final Measure did in Division 1.
Currently not. Yeah.
It doesn't.
Okay.
So it's skilled proxies, but not grenades.
In the Division 2, there are some very low-used exotic weapons, exotic armor, gear sets, and special effects. Are you planning on reworking their effects to encourage more diverse builds?
Yes, I think it's always a balance between bringing new things and reworking things. We've done a pass some time ago now, and we've reworked a bunch of items. There are still some items that we have in our radar that we want to revisit and that we want to work on. And then on top of that, yes, when there is an opportunity, we want to look at the underperforming items, the ones that people have but do not use because they're just not meta or not even interesting, because it doesn't have to be meta, but it needs to at least create opportunities for people to try things. So when something is underperforming, and we can see that, we have data to see that, this usually creates a very clear candidate for revisiting. So it's just a matter of being able to spend the time on doing that. But yes, we would like to do that more.
The next question actually is also about meta, but this is something that I think this is the question I got in the list that better summarize a lot of other questions that were related about the meta. The question is, will TTK time to kill be adjusted? Each update brings more damage increase, but they haven't been significant survivability or healing change. So people in different types of questions, they ask about this topic.
Damage goes up, you can translate it into defense.
On the meta and how we are missing armor and health.
Yeah, so I don't think the issue is time to kill. The issue is difficulty. There's two elements. There's one element is that, yes, of course, as usual, most of the time damage is the meta, and we need to make sure that we have alternatives, we have options, we have rules. We are working on some ideas to do that. And then difficulty, when we're talking about always adding more damage, and then how do we bring difficulty? We need to look at that. We have some thoughts. We have some things that we're working on that are here to actually bring in more difficulty. Master was one way to do that. It's not necessarily still to the level of difficulty that some people want, but I think we found a correct balance between something that is challenging but that is still achievable by a greater number. But that being said, there's opportunities for more difficulty, more challenges, because yes, we've been giving a lot of power to players, and we need to make sure that the game remains fun and challenging for everyone. So then we need to bring in a new layer of difficulty for players.
Right.
And the last one before we're moving to the whole scavenging points.
Have
you considered adding hunter outfits to the store?
We've done that already.
I've just turned Australian.
We are bringing hunter outfits. We don't necessarily want to do that too much, because how many times can we do a hunter outfit before it starts becoming boring, and we don't want everybody to look like a hunter. That being said, we know people love them. We enjoy working on them as well. So yes, we've done it, and we will keep doing it.
Okay. All right, so now we're going to talk about
before I will do it again.
That's a big topic that we released a dev notes. We're trying to address and make the communication the most transparent as possible, understanding that you guys are eager to know how it actually is going to work, understanding that it's an ongoing process, that we need to perform a lot of fine tunes in tweaks in how we're doing that. And we got some of the questions that you mentioned about scavenging points here. Let's try to use this as one opportunity to explain why we're doing or what's the direction we're trying. But actually, who is going to make the first scavenging points question is our dear friend DJ Tickle from the community. So let's see his video.
Tickle sent one
with
in.
the watch changes that are coming on the 27th, the value of the resources you can get with each scavenging point are being multiplied by 3. Does this include field recon and SHD calibration? Can you tell us about any of the other economy updates that are coming soon, and how does all this affect our hardcore characters?
Inherently.
All right, so yeah, basically question about how it's gonna first.
I would assume it's all the resources.
The hardcore questions, hardcore characters, because I got this question a lot as well. I think this is a good opportunity to address it.
Yep. Well, I mean, hardcore characters will have their own pool. So if you have hardcore characters, they will not share the pool with the scavenging points of the other players, and you will be able to share that between your hardcore characters, but not directly with the other characters. So it's a very completely isolated pool.
Yeah. So if we have, let's say, I have 4 characters, 2 are hardcore and the 2 are not. It's just 2 separate ways of using. And how about the resources? Are they going to be shared?
resources. I mean, resources are shared for the most part. There are some that are not. Yes, economies like currency and these kind of things. But the ones that are shared, they're shared between characters. They're not shared with hardcore characters. But in between characters, they are. And once again, if you claim the point on one character, the materials you're gonna get will be shared with the other characters as well.
Okay. The next question is about the new resource values for SHD points. So as we released on the dev notes, we're multiplying all the resources you can get with the scavenging points by 3. A lot of people ask if, that would be just for this or for that, like specific questions about the resources. For this reason, we created a table that can summarize pretty much everything that we're going to do. So you can see the gray column is from this current season. So the numbers that are actually right now in the game, and the orange one is the numbers that will be from May 27th and forward. So we're basically multiplying everything by 3, including field recon data, SHD calibration, printing filament, all the special resources that some people asked about it.
How does this flip
you want to make a comment about that? Like, we're multiplying by 3 right now. Like, we mentioned in the dev notes, this is not necessarily the final solution, right?
No, I mean that's one step. I think a lot of that is also about just the time and the grind it takes to spend those points, especially when it comes to expertise. So that's something we need to look at. But at least that's one step in that direction. Just making sure that each point you spend, since now you can only spend it once, that point needs to be more rewarding. That just makes sense. So that's what you see here. It's just a straight out times 3 multiplier we're applying to everything.
Yeah, we got more questions about the scavenging points here. Some of them, like we try to make very clear what we're going to do, but obviously people think and ask and are unsure about other aspects of their experience. So I probably know the answer for those, but let's go through them either way. So there's a community concern around the SHD watch and scavenging points. Will there be a proficiency reset or talents reset or any weapons be nerfed because of that?
No, we don't plan any changes because of that. So there's no reset that is planned.
I stubbed my toe. Am I gonna have a heart attack?
No proficiency, no talents reset. We're not planning to rework anything based on that. If anything, as I said, it's probably more about eventually down the line to look at the economies and the time it takes to get upgrades to be able to invest those materials. As I said, in expertise, in optimization, in crafting in general. So that's something we would like. But
also, look at me now. I am the real Yannick.
Planning on resetting anything.
Okay, and are you planning to make character-specific materials account-wide? For example, money, water, food, components, since most other resources are already shared. So.
We need to discuss it, and we need to understand why they are not right now. To be honest, from top of mind, I cannot tell you if there's a design reason why they shouldn't. If there is no good design reason outside of, that's just the way it was, and we've never looked at it, then we should look at it.
Yeah, right. So these were the section that we covered, the scavenging points. Make sure that you can spend all of them before May 27, because when the new updates happen, we are going to overwrite your points and gonna give you give you back 100% of them.
No, Thermal hasn't come up yet. But it's going to be the same answer they gave for Lexington.
The way, but you can
which is
spend them before May 27th.
Maybe in the future.
Some people ask, I'm going to just jump on one of the chat questions. When are we going to be able to play Brooklyn, and when it's going to happen? It's May 27 at 8 a.m. Central European Summer Time.
Yeah.
All right, so we got just a few questions now out of those questions.
I stabbed it against a lion.
And then we go to the chat.
I stabbed it against a lion.
One of them is something that I also spot on the chat as well, is about the Twitch drops. So when people will receive their rewards for the Twitch drops, we know that we got an issue with the last Twitch drops campaign. We are not happy with that. We are still investigating how we can make sure that the right people can get rewarded for that. But in worst case scenario, if we cannot find any good solution, we're just gonna make something to make very generous to make the community happy. We're not going to prevent you from getting what you wanted. So we are still investigating, trying to make sure that we're exploring all the options, but obviously we are not going to just make people forget about that. We are aware that we need to fix it, and we need to compensate for that as well. Okay, another question that I also saw in the chat as well is, will you be removing the 999 exotic components from players who receive them via the glitch?
No, we're not planning to.
Oh, right.
We're not planning to. And as to the next question, which I will also just read directly, if players will be banned for exploiting the glitch, no, that one is on us. So we don't plan to punish the players for it.
Yeah, let's do it.
And finally, what tools are being used to reduce the number of cheating players? Many reports seem to lead to no results. This is something that obviously, like, there's always a discussion. It's normal for live games about cheating. I think it's this question is an opportunity for us to talk about what our anti-cheat efforts and what we're doing and how things work from here. Do you want to elaborate a little bit about that?
Well, it's going to be the same reply as usual, and I know it's never satisfying for everyone, but I cannot give you the details of the tools we use because for obvious reasons, the more we pull the curtain, the more we make it easy for people to retro engineer, deconstruct our cheat protection and bypass it. But yes, we have a combination of cheat prevention, but does not allow people to actually use cheat engines in the game. That doesn't block all of them, but that blocks a bunch. And then we have our own detection tools that also allow us to see when people are cheating. And with that, then we're able to detect reports help. That doesn't mean that when you report someone, even if they're obviously cheating in front of you, that doesn't mean we're going to be able to necessarily take actions, because there's a bunch of stuff that needs to happen behind the scenes then that can lead to actually that player getting banned. So I know it doesn't always sound fair.
Because I'm willing to bet, like,
always fair, because yes, sometimes you will see
there is more false positives than there is true positives in just the reports themselves as well.
This is not because we don't care or because that player is a friend of ours or whatever. It's just that there's probably a bunch of reasons why that player has not been banned yet. Could also be that it can take some time.
Okay, actually, I was planning to add more stuff, but I think you cover everything that I was about to say. So I think that's the section that we got the pre-made questions from the community. We asked them to submit their questions. Some of them submit their videos, and this is the first section of the stream. Now we're going to go through some of the chat questions as well. And again, like we're going to talk about the DLC, about the new season and other stuff. So the first one is, once Brooklyn drops, will projects and priority objectives include Brooklyn going forward?
Yes. Priority objectives will.
And also, so many of the cheaters are just
that are including Brooklyn. What we want
not
to do, we want to make sure we are not
so
forcing you to go into
on that
especially
end,
if you don't own it. So it will always be an option.
If they have a wall hack,
if you own it, but yes, priority objectives will include.
It's hard to tell if they do or don't, or if they're just using Pulse, which is and then dev approved wall hack.
Just to do it or not.
Another one about Brooklyn. Do we get 50 stash space with Brooklyn DLC?
Yes, you do.
Yeah, I know that people love stash space. Okay. Any way new cleaner fire can be added to old cleaner missions and control points? I think they're talking about the purple flame.
The purple flame. Right now, the plan is to keep the purple flame isolated to Brooklyn. So it's an extra component. It's an extra gameplay mechanic that we're adding to the DLC itself. It's not immediately going to be added to the rest of the game. Could we reuse it in the future and bring it on occasion or for special events in the rest of the game? Why not? We could consider that, but it's not going to be just flat added to all the fire effects in the game or all the cleaner fire. That's not the plan.
All right. Will there be any more SHG XP level events in the next season?
Yes. Of course.
Yes. Okay. People asking about new incursion. I think
that's
touching on that, but
I already said we don't have plans for incursion.
Any plans to update PvP? So this is for the PvP community.
Hello, I see you, PvP community. I've seen you in chat already.
All four of you.
We haven't announced anything. We have some thoughts here and there, but we haven't announced anything on PvP specifically, and I have nothing to announce just now.
Seems right on for
Is there
rest
a chance to get turmoil
that's
in
life.
beds again?
Maybe.
It does kind of suck, but yeah, they can't do anything about it. It was their mistake.
But are popular like that and that people want to see coming back,
and trying to roll it back, especially because it gets spent,
sure
of course. So
we will find ways to make them available again in the future.
Like, do you take it off of items that are already, and how do you do that? Because there's no mechanic
currently. Will there be a
for
cap
that.
on expertise at some point?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, we're considering it. I
Just
don't
do
know
it.
what I'm supposed to say
Do
about
it.
it. I will anyway. We have to see. We have to think of expertise in general. That's a system that probably needs a bit of a pass. But yes, adding a cap is something we're considering. Yes.
Right. I think that's all the questions we got from chat that our team or staff
Was it
team,
called Greek Fire?
selected for us. We can.
I'm not sure they gave it a name.
Through the chat.
But it might have.
Will Brooklyn have a new stronghold?
Not a stronghold. You have main missions. Some of them are longer than others, so there could be. I think the last.
I think
one
was also the thing that
than the
triggered
other
it was
one,
pretty
so,
easy to
Technically, maybe it could be a stronghold.
to accidentally happen,
It's
especially
still
now
configuration.
with the with the watch.
Is Brooklyn map bigger or smaller in size compared to Warlords? No, it is smaller.
Because all you
I see
needed was to be
comments
over cap.
on the cap as well. I've seen
On
people
SHD
talking about
calibration.
expertise in PvP and having to remove expertise in PvP. I think there's a whole discussion to be had on PvP and the normalization of stats in PvP. Obviously, expertise can be a huge difference maker. So yes, it is an issue. I don't know that removing it,
Let's remove it from DZ too.
blindly is necessarily the solution, but it is something we're aware of, and we're trying to find solutions or think of solutions.
Just remove it in DZ as well. Making also conflict and DZ builds the same.
Going through the chat now, I'm trying to
That was like
see a lot of questions that we already.
such an easy
More
win. I
loadouts,
feel.
I see people asking for more loadouts. I don't know if we will do it, but it would be nice. Yes, I agree.
We're back to these questions. They really need to do a FAQ.
Some people
like a
looking for trailer
list
for
that they
season
spam
7.
here.
We're not going to show any trailer today. This is just a Q&A session. But what we're going to
And just post that and just go like, any questions from this, we're not answering.
New update.
Ask something.
For Brooklyn and the new season.
And they can put all the
this stream will
snow
be much
and
more fun with
like
cool stuff to be shown, and I
New
want
things
and
to
stuff
do.
like that.
I want to be here, so it's going to be another ComDev. But
anything
yeah,
that gets
it's gonna be fun.
answered with
I'm
that
looking
would be
forward to it as well.
cool.
I got the questions, and the other ComDev that will be introduced will come up with the nice stuff, the fun stuff.
More with classified assignments.
Asking for an option to open all boxes at once, all the caches. So that can be for the.
But also
the
that would
caches
just be
or also,
basically as much
all
work
the
as
caches
something
you have
new
in your
anyway.
inventory.
In the end.
Yeah, that's also would be nice. It's, I think there's
all of these questions.
I know we've had discussions in the past about it with the team, and there's a lot of edge cases. So. It's something that
more just at least that's what I would think is more doing things with the current ones, turning them fully into like missions. But you can already kind of use them like that.
I agree. It's on the list of things I would like to.
Once you've done the puzzle one, it turns into a pretty quick just.
When the DLC is available for purchase.
But if it had targeted and stuff, like that would help.
Will we ever see leagues again?
Time trial stuff.
Not in the form that they had, but I think there was something fun with leagues. We need to kind of look at them and see
that as well.
In what form we could bring back
don't think
a similar experience.
Doing new spaces is going to be hard for them. Let's go. For the adverts. There's a lot of merch. Also, I mean, nowadays you can make any merch happen that you want.
This was one of the questions as well, that we had before. So we covered that as well. I'm trying to think about to look for new questions.
Any chance of change to descent? Question is gone, but then the rest of the question was about being able to come back to your session after a delta. We don't have plans to change descent at this time. Bringing a save system to descent, it would be a big ask. So it's not something that we could easily achieve, unfortunately. Trust me, we've looked at it a few times. Unfortunately, it's a really big one, so it would take a lot of work to do. Not something we want to prioritize right now.
Mm-hmm.
Chat is going a bit crazy, so sorry.
It's
a bit hard to it's a bit hard to catch the questions here.
I'm a little bit.
Sure, how many?
Raise the percentage of rock spawns in the open world. I don't know, maybe. But then if we make them too common, it becomes boring as well. We also need to make rogues more interesting in terms of what you get from fighting rogues.
We'll get some of the Chinese exclusives.
Well, that's a case-by-case basis. We like to look at what's been done there and find inspiration from what they've done. And if we see things that are interesting, we can potentially reuse it. So we might see more of that in the future. But there's a lot of things that we don't necessarily want to bring.
Expertise and optimization cost reduced. We kind of cover that as well.
Yeah, I mean, first we are going to give you more materials. Then we'll maybe look at the costs further down the line.
Next, system corruption. Isn't system corruption, because third account I have system corruption.
A lot of survival questions. So
I think those are just
ignore it.
freely available.
To bring back survival, I've said it a million times.
Yannick, your favorite meal?
Jessica, yeah.
It's a personal question.
Would be nice actually if they added more of those blueprints in there.
My favorite meal.
I'm a person of very simple taste, so I like a good pizza or just a good sandwich. I'm not fancy.
Simple man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we have 2 more minutes for the stream, so let's see what else we can get.
Okay. Yeah. I was about to say, like, how long are they going to
get the missing Twitch drops? So as I mentioned before, we're investigating how we can fix the previous Twitch drops.
I feel they should just answer some of these questions with just never.
Investigating if we can make it right, and if we cannot, we're just gonna be generous with the community and make sure that people get what they want. In this case, what else we have here?
Half of this is okay. That's maybe why.
Boss. No, you don't need a hunter boss. There's a Yannick in the game already.
Well, I have a few.
Stuff enough.
36 pieces of blueprints. Okay.
Bringing back some Division 1 apparel into Division 2.
No, they should fix that.
What would you like to see?
Hunter's Fury and Bellstone still as well.
Is there any plan to increase the players' inventory space and cache space?
But for instance, Cheska chest never existed, but they should like add
inventory.
No,
because
there's a bunch of stuff like that.
Stash space, but the inventory of the character. No, we don't
have
plans to
stuff from the early seasons, which didn't have blueprints for all pieces, and also year 1.
I know not enough. Also, a lot of people. But,
there wasn't even.
I don't know about adding more
beyond blueprints. Not every piece was there for every slot starting out.
Someone else the outfit, yeah. It's not digitical. I'm surprised. No.
he submitted the question and I removed from the list. So now, yeah. I think we have. Yeah, we're almost there.
Any plans to shave Yannick? No, you don't want to see that.
Because the other 3 do exist, but just maybe not.
Oh, poo-poo.
Because all 6 are there for like main account. Actually, but then you have to be there for season 1. I'm guessing.
Repeated.
I see a lot of questions for the open all cache option. So obviously that's
not a gear set I mess around much.
Really need to look at.
All right, let's see if I can get a final one now.
Are the DLC main missions replayable? Yes, they are.
Why wouldn't they?
What's the price of the DLC for Brazil? Honestly, I have no idea. I need to check out that information now. I'm living in Sweden, so I don't know. my store is in Swedish.
Any plans to add new specializations in the future? No, not right now. And I know that the question that I've seen already in chat is
specialization balancing is hell.
Revamp that we announced a long time ago, and the position hasn't changed on that one. It's still on ice. We still want to revisit specs at some point, but there's a lot of things we would like to do with the game, and we need to pick which ones we want to prioritize. And spec revamp is not the priority right now.
Okay, I'm gonna pick one of the questions that actually was the first one we answered. When pre-order, again, the DLC is not gonna be available for pre-order, only for wishlist. So if you go to Ubi store, you can wishlist it. Otherwise, you can buy the new DLC May 27th, 8 a.m. Central European summertime. So with this, we finalize our stream. Thank you so much, Yannick, for your knowledge and your answers. Thank you, George, for helping us with the technical aspect today. It was George's first stream, so we are very proud of George. And obviously, it was a roller coaster, but everything was just fine.
He's trying to
that would be easy to break.
The end of the stream. Yeah. Maybe too soon. I really appreciate everyone who submitted their questions and their videos. We got a lot of questions. Those questions are also very helpful for us to understand what topics we need to address more often, or what answers we need to deliver to the community. So if your question didn't make to the stream,
but as well as also just
we're gonna go through them. Either way, we're going to try to identify points.
They've already answered most of the questions.
Or we can
also, final confirmation of the triple
communication. So I'm super excited. Only 6 days until we go to Brooklyn. We have season.
There's also a lot of the questions I didn't even submit anything here. I'll see what the final version is in a week.
Such a long time. I know that a lot
of this for a long time.
Yeah, and the Crossroads season as well will come with a new year 7. So we're going to have another stream, like I mentioned before, another stream that
also they can't ban people
more stuff that are coming, and this stream is not gonna be hosted by me. So
not when it's like that.
Since you've been super gentle to me, super
like something
nice, I wish
like Anderson or something was you had you couldn't mistakenly do it
to the new person who will become here in the next stream. But other than
Exo
that,
thing
I'm super happy. I'm
happened
super
by
excited about everything that we
by accident
here.
first.
I'm happy to see how much engagement we got, and agents, it's almost there. Thank you so much for your audience. Thank you so much for your questions. I'll keep an eye on everything that you mentioned during this stream as well, so you're not gonna be forgotten. Okay. Again, thank you so much. May 27 is almost there. See you next time, and bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Let's shut up, you. But it's basically, though this was all things we kind of knew already, but in one spot. So that's kind of handy for some people to get their bearings on it. Let's go back to this. Let's actually also go back to here. Yes. Let's just delete this, because I messed around way too much for this. It's not gonna line up ever again. We'll make a fresh one for in the future. Let's finish up this, and then we'll go from there. So let's do the OD parts. So this is quite bestie with this. Yeah, all this is actually a rebuttal for some idiots who thinks he knows better. He's making me waste 20 minutes to prove him wrong, so but you know what? I don't mind proving people wrong. So let's get the stats in first. Also, actually, with this. Let's make this P say this already. So the stats are going to be the same, although the reload is going to be faster for here. 3.24. So, weapon damage wise. So 100 plus 30, right? Yeah, so this is 100 plus 30 plus this field. And this one is 100 plus 40 plus this field. Crit chance, crit damage of 50 is max on a min. 51.5. Also, I was kind of like expecting that. Like, there isn't too much new stuff to say. With that, like they've already said basically all they were gonna say, and nobody asked the questions that like I would care about of like, hey, how much is streamlined and stuff. But I was also just like, well, we'll see the final versions. Because likely what they would say there is we haven't, picked the final number yet or something. Kind of weasel their way out. Yeah, so this is a 50. This is an so 50, this is a 25. Brain blanking. 12. Just do it like that. I'll breaks this, of course. So on these as well, 0 and 0. And then on this, it's 0 and 8. Okay. And this one's also just... I actually want to play around with this number. So let's do this one just like this, 20. And that. This becomes 12 here. Okay. Let's check the hits. So I do need OD up. Actually, I don't need the tick. I just need hits. So, how much is that on body? So 618. That checks out. Stop critting. $258. Okay, so that checks out. Let's go for max stick. with OD bullets up. So next step. Five, 8, 16. So let's make sure we hit this number. Yeah. So yeah, this is this number. Actually, we can just copy this here. And times 1.2. That doesn't check out. Oh, we need to remove this from it, of course. So this isn't the value, which, oh, okay. Plus, so without that, then this 20, this 25. The 30. Okay. Oh, wait, this doesn't line up either. That's interesting. So we have this and then 4. Oh yeah, that's not gonna. Or I don't know. Yeah, do we get a tick that low? We actually need this number without this in it. That's how I should do it. So if you have that number without that in it, so if I just take the contents of this and put that here. Okay. So where is this? There's that 50. Also, actually, I should swap these two around. Not that it matters for here, but just to not give them anything to bite into. Also, let me catch up here for a second. That's my own world. Kind of Lexington. Every time that's been their answer since they put it at. Plus material the second spending scavenging point, SHD acquisition, printer filaments. Basically fill up everything. If you're going on like overstacking, you're just gonna, fill everything up and just overstack everything. No single resource is per se like better than the rest. You'll eventually just run into, especially on like main characters and stuff, just you can put it into credits if you don't wanna like. There's things to make as well as make all the tactical assessment, optimize all your gear, expertise, maybe all the gear up to 12, because that just takes resources from gears and weapons to 12. That just takes resources that you can get from the watch. So do all that kind of stuff. And then if nothing else, once everything else is full, yeah, credits you can just put some into. But yeah, things like field recon and SHD requisition or SHD calibration is just going to be pretty important, like just to fill up if you're like low on it. If you have the materials at 9, what we receive on return, nothing. What he means, yeah. Like if you have the watch points for what like, but yeah, you can just spend it on, because you can also craft up all your tactical assessments, all of those things, and the expertise gear up. There's a lot you can do with the resources before you run out of options. And in the worst case, you can just dump it into credits. That's, you can always turn credits into resources as well by just buying from vendors and deconstructing. Otherwise, remove the weapon damage upgrade limit and specialization. Let's go beyond 150 to assign them. Upgrade limit and specialization. Oh, to have them all fill in? Much easier would be just if they remove that whole thing and just made it, you spend 45 points and you get it into everything. I'm guessing originally they wanted to keep it in like this form, but they never did anything with it. Of like, maybe that you make a gear set that if you're running SMG and like AR, you combine maybe the weapon damage or something from that. Likely that's why the weapon damages are set up in the specializations like that, but they never ended up doing that. So just make it 45. You spend 45 points and you get 15 in everything. And then that's the only thing from specialization that I would care about to get as a quality of life thing. Just join. May I ask you, is happy with the QA dev stream? I wish I didn't understand too much. Yeah, these are all kind of like, most of the questions are, you have to kind of understand, because there's a bunch of stuff happening in the community where there are changes coming, and if you don't know what a watch alt is, or why we're getting a watch point changes and such, can be very confusing. Overall, this wasn't that useful, actually. The thing was and it isn't that we didn't like these answers. We need these answers, but these answers had already been given, although in like a dozen different places. So this was kind of, I think this is what their attempt here was just to pull them all into one place and go like, point to this place and go like, okay, here are your answers. Because all of basically everything they answered here, we've already like known through other parts. But having them all together there, that has some value. But it wasn't, for me, for instance, I don't think I learned one new thing per se. There was confirmation of a few things that we assumed would work that way with Claire. When they said watch points times 3, everything has to be times 3, otherwise it doesn't make sense. But having confirmation on it is kind of nice. Yeah, sure. That was a solution until the early specialization. I don't think they need to change it. Like, specializations is one of the most balanced places in this game. Like, I don't think... like, I've seen people go on about wanting the specialization revamp. Every time I ask them, what do you want out of it? It's just like, because someone, for instance, things like the grenades and the specialization weapons to be first selectable. The current thing is like there is balancing there. If we could have the flashbang or the fire grenade, like that's the things that kind of pull you towards sharpshooter and like survivalist. If I could just have those, plus having the striker shield, plus having the skill tier from technician, plus having the best bits of everything, like the rate of fire on kill and the armor on kill and stuff, like that's just power creep. Like now them being spread out, they're kind of been spread out actually pretty logically. Like it makes sense in between them, and every specialization has a reason to pick it. Questions also ballistic law. Oh yeah. Although, well, there is an answer to that, of course, of like, did you ask a question? Although I didn't ask a question either. I'm kind of fine with it. We'll see the final results in a few weeks anyway. I would have liked them at least to, given a hard answer on Streamline and such, and that's definitely been asked likely of them, but they likely don't want to like give a final number there. It's already out there. Yeah. They didn't say they wanted to. Yeah, they should have never. They should have never brought it up. But honestly, the original plans are still like kind of out there. What they have for, which was exactly that, like freeing up a bunch of stuff. But that would have just been like, yeah, power creep basically. And also wouldn't have gained them much because we would just pick the best parts out of each slot and just, you know. The rest is more commonly obtainable from yeah. Yeah, basically, definitely spend it first. The watch points, like make sure that your fields recon and your SHT calibrations are kind of filled up. If you don't have like a lot of it, spend that first and then. But yeah, there's a lot of things to spend it on after that as well, because yeah, optimization, like the tactical assessments and stuff, the optimization resources, you could spend it in that. You could get some expertise grades onto weapons and gear before you hit the point where you have to spend some spec on it. Also, yeah, so let's fix this thing. So this is so H. Where's H? H is here. How did I break up? Is that times 5. Okay, it's not that either. Oh wait, is it like this then? So this times 5 is in here. Actually, that makes sense. I should do it. In order, of course. We're multiplying. Well, actually, yeah, no, in this case, it doesn't matter, of course. We're just all multiplication. So it isn't this. So what's happening here? So this is then just a 20 instead then. And that times 5. Stood like that. Yeah, but I was not unfamiliar with it. The OD, the original part of OD, like the team buff OD part, that actually does apply to Pesty. Thing is though that, yeah, it just isn't enough to make Pesty worth it with OD. So yeah, let's take the contents of this again. So instead of H being H is now 20. That's also not lining up. Did I break something there? Let's just let's recheck our number from in the game. Eight 62154. Yeah. Eight 62154. We're about to do it divide by. Actually, no, that doesn't apply. Wait. Didn't it apply? To the plate. I invested in light forever. Because it's acting as if there's no amp there at all. 862. Wait, I can actually just empty out my OD rounds and then see if it changes. Because that should drop by then. Huh, wait, let me try this again actually. Yeah, let me catch up here for a second. They will change or do something to optimization. For now, there doesn't seem to be like much change there. They're just giving more resources, and then we have to also see like they were talking about also events for resources and stuff. So because as well, on top of that, if there's like a, you know, or this week you get triple resources or something. Those kind of things combined could be enough for optimization too. Because also keep in mind that, for instance, for now already, like on main account, I don't have watch outs. Like there is there is like there's no per se need for them. But also the thing that might happen, which is like oh no, how sad for all of us. We might have to run builds that aren't like instantly perfectly optimized if you're above 10k or something. Because I feel I do that myself as well on like second account. If I'm making a build and putting it together, I'm just going to optimize it even when I'm testing it. In the future, it'll become like, oh, okay, you know, well, not per se for people that have been here now already, but you know, if I make a fourth account or something, I'll be like, oh, I might have to consider what I'm optimizing because I can't just optimize everything, which by itself could be a, you know, is a thing. Out of curiosity, tier crafting. No, well, I'm actually kind of putting together just, so this is multi-calculator of mine. And we're kind of basically putting some builds up against each other. And the reason for it is this guy who, yeah, we've had a long discussion here. I gave him an F- already. And then he comes back with just trying to rebuttal 1 point out of all these. 1 point is a second point because this is a point that he thinks he can win on. But that's the obvious thing. Which I also kind of address him with him there. And then he comes back and tries to explain to me how to put together. Because also, this is the obvious way to put together a Langmo build, right? We put a memento in it. And 5 red cores. Because why would we go 6, right? Like, what? And then because of that, he has his whole calculation here, which is based off of a shitty build. Like, and then... But yeah, the discussion is like, is Pesty good for OD? The answer is no, straight up, like go sadist. But he thinks he knows better, and I'm just gonna go the extra mile and just go like, fuck it, here's the actual numbers. Now go away. You actually don't know anything, and also you didn't address any of the other dozen points. But yeah, it's basically I'm being one of those Redditors right now, basically. Actually. I should put my like, actually, you will find that you are wrong upon the internet. Wait, didn't Pesty get affected by that 20%? Because this guy also said it. I was like, yeah, I remember something like that. But I think maybe they removed that when the skill thing also changed. Because yeah, they removed it from. Oh yeah. So yeah, that wasn't even like part of this. Well, thank you so much there for the kind words, Aiden, and yeah, glad you like it. More to come. Yeah, let's finish up this thing now that I actually finally like realize what is happening here. Because yeah, we're getting matching numbers within game, and also the thing is with this as well. That's why I'm kind of shooting in the game and such. Is we check it up against in-game numbers. Like the game is the final arbiter in all of this. So if my calculation is in some way different than the game is right and I'm wrong. So we just do it like that. So yeah, this combined is this plus this, and also let's do the contractor's version because I'm sure he's gonna bring that up. Because that's the obvious rebuttal of like, oh, why would you go Coyote? And the answer is because it's the better build. But only if you know. But yeah, let's put the contractors here. So how do I take this to 60 in the most fashionable way? Yeah, we don't go 60, we go. Would DTA be a better choice here? We drop 9.5. Where do we land? 42. We could take 18 there. There's a 42 plus 18 would be 60 exactly. Maybe we take it that route. Yeah, 60. But then that would be, I don't have a DTA here. That would also be 8 plus, so 14 here. 8 plus 4. Wow, that doesn't leave any real crit actually. Because we're dropping 2. Because if we're taking that to 60, we need 3 more crit chance rolls. So we're losing 36 crit damage. Yeah, that doesn't check out either. No, so let's go the crit route then, or the other route then. So we keep this at 8. We take 57.5. We take 104, 5. 105. 25. 50. We do the same as we did for this one. And I don't actually need to fix up the crits for this because we're not, I just want the pesty tick here. Actually, let's test it again as well with getting the OD later. Nine, 6, 7. This here. Because if I take this whole section, actually, we can take this whole section. Put it here. This can go, this can go, this can go actually just to clarity's sake. I need to. This needs to go here. 967, yeah. Let's compare these 3 with each other, or actually, so here's this one divided by this one. No, this one. this one divided by this one. I should just put this here. Is this one divided by this one. There we go. Oh, yeah, not in that way actually. So. And this is this one divided by this one, and is this one divided by this one. And yeah, this is what happens when, because according to that guy, these ODs with Pesty are way stronger than the Lingmo, which they aren't. Not even on their base, not even on their... not on their tick, and not on their final output. Also, there's someone that, like, in the original thing, they went like, Chameleon is shit, and Bloody Knuckles is shit, like pieces that generally see a lot of use. As in 2025, like, I'm not the biggest fan of the Chameleon, but at worst, it is pretty good. Like, that is the... that is the... Rank is nearly forced to make another one. Well, that sounds like a caffeine addiction if I've ever heard one. Let's take grade 20. So I should make this Carnage grade 25. Yeah. Should have been the case already. Because let's finish this one up, and then let's actually do a little bit of work on the other one, which is the, but that just needs basically a little work to make it look good, because they'll be the spreadsheet we'll use this evening for the refactor build showcase. Let's put that here and here as well. Because yeah, let's do the numbers for this thing. And as well, just one last check here. This really doesn't apply, does it? Let's get this guy to the cap for a second. $862. Because I'm gonna lose my ammo. It should drop, like that's how the thing used to work with turret and drone and stuff. Actually, just to be sure as well, so that's 860, and then this is also 860. Just lights completely with that. 860, yeah. So here, let's take Negev base. And these are usually a lot easier and faster. Pesty is kind of sometimes annoying with trying to get the numbers for it and stuff, because you kind of have to do the Pesty tick. So 286. And then 750. 135. Okay. weapon damages. So it's 100 plus 30 plus whatever's in this field. Crit chance, crit damage is, and I need to. Actually, I can just load the loadout, can't I? Crit chance mod that needs to be flipped. That's just easier like that. So is 50.5 plus 10, but then min in brackets and then 60. And is 149 plus 10. 5. And then we have 25 and 50. And we have. Oh, actually, is that correct? I forgot to put that. It's 169, 61. Understand. So zeros on these. And a 12 there. There we go. Let's copy this over, and then this is this divided by this. And yeah, then we have a 30 here. Actually, no, we have a 35 here. There we go. Everything else correct. Yeah. Wait, actually, that thing doesn't reach up to SD? What? No, that can't be right. To the Lengma plus stick? Is OD a little bit worse than I remember? Because OD bullets. Yeah, we don't need any stacking things. Let's make sure our damage numbers are correct. I feel I've forgotten something here. So 792 body shot crits. Wait, that can't be right. 792. Wait. Uh, 290. Wait, something is way off here. I mean, the target's bleeding, right? Oh, there we go. Yes, the target wasn't bleeding, maybe. 1069, that checks out. 394, that checks out. 730 on the headshot, non-crits. Gonna hard to hit the head from there. Let's make some push ammo there. 1405, yeah, there we go. Wait, that doesn't reach up to the pesty plus stick? Really? Huh. That's odd. I would have thought it would have. If we drop this to 20-ish, although that doesn't change too much there. Actually, it's in the benefit of the OD there. Does this change anything if we take the headshot out? Yeah, the ODs even, these other two ODs even fall further. because the crit of that is much higher. Yeah. Okay, so this all looks good. I'll use it later. Let me catch up here if I missed anything. Some beans, but the camera away just like gotta, you know, it's good to enjoy some things in life, especially if it's something easily doable like that. Yeah, let's put a few minutes into this, and then actually maybe we go play the game for a little bit. Because we've been stuck in spreadsheet and Q&A for most of it. Yeah, let's take this back to this one. And on this one, I just need to, because I will use this one this evening. Let's also turn off damage numbers. There we go. Actually, you know what? Already, now, I'm going to swap accounts because I want to... Oh, no, actually, I'm done with that account, aren't I? Yeah, we got all the things. I was like, I need to still get some cosmetics over there, but no, we don't, actually. So I feel refactor here is going to just be green tones. Do it like this. Actually, we can make the turtle drone the same color. That makes a little sense. Let's do it like this, yeah. And then this can be blue and the glass will be red. We're going to make it look good as well, of course. Oh. Not that thing white, this thing white. There we go. White text. A little bit easier to read on that. Here we go there, yeah. Okay. Made the same mistake twice. A mistake so nice, I made it twice. Yeah, there we go with those. I mean, yeah, this is clear enough, right? We just need the numbers to compare with, and then the inter are here. Because this then also shows how much is coming from the weapon and how much is coming from the turrets effectively. And then, yeah. Same thing here. And on this one, just... Let's actually delete these other two, because, yeah, we're just not going to use them. Hide our crimes. There we go. Just be these two. Yeah, so this is... All four of these can be kind of red tints. Although what I might just do here, actually we should do it the other way. So darker color and then lighter color for between these. Having the easier memento being less so. Let's make all this text white. And then the phi's, let's go with green. Oh, maybe let's go with kind of like teal like this. There we go. And then, yeah, the rest of these numbers can actually go. Oh, yeah, I need in between these as well. Let's add that in. Let me catch up here if I missed anything. So Lexington is making a return. They didn't say that. They said they're looking at bringing it back in some way. What that way is and when, like, they might be thinking of bringing it for 1,000 euros for one person. You know, but, yeah. Until we have concrete things, basically consider like unobtainium. But there's plenty of stuff to replace it with. Like FAMAS is good, CTAR is good, F2000 is good, PAL is good. All of those are close enough that like you can get anything done with them. But still, that's kind of suck that the thing doesn't but yeah, it's just basically pretty good. Yeah, so let's make, because I just want here. Just a whole section of these, basically. Is this number, this number, and then is this number divided by this number. Basically comparing between themselves. There we go. Wait, that's interesting. Wait, why is this one winning? Oh, because of the DTA rates, right? It really depends on if this is 0 or 100 or 20 or 60. Okay. Because actually at 0, the Lexi wins by a lot on everything. Except, well, no, here even still it's winning by a lot. And then on 100, it's of course shifts the capacitor. And then at 60, it is basically for most of them, the capacitor is kind of ahead, which is already the choice I've kind of been making. Well, actually, on this one, I'm surprised that on the Coyote one, it is also still like the capacitor is such a contender. But then capacitor also handles what much worse than a Lexington or like just a high-end AR. So That kind of checks out. Okay, so we have basically everything, for this evening. Because also that one isn't going to be like spreadsheet heavy. It's not a red build or anything. Yeah, let's go and play a little bit of this video game I can enjoy. Sometimes actually playing. Let's go and maybe do parts of a weekly. What was the weekly? Is Invasion. Descent wasn't anything good, right? Oh, Trusan's one's there. And Descent was going to be like was it Gluttony? Was it
simulation program
Gluttony?
active.
Okay, so for today and tomorrow still. So Friday we can have a look at it. Any good targeted? How's we're there? That's not too bad. Actually, you know what? Let's go do a few Cantans. I kind of wouldn't mind already. Oh, actually, we have Reanimated. Because that might be open world is better. I'm not already getting the Hunter's Fury pieces I need for that Headhunter's Fury with Imminence Armaments coming next season. Unless I'm blind. No. There we go, Summit. A little bit. No, let's go do that. Let's go do a little bit of Summit. Let's get our maybe weekly project in there. It's gonna grab this character with their Striker Tech tank and just.
We need you to secure a skyscraper. This may take a while.
Or
hope you cleared your schedule.
No, let's get the character 1 because actually let's take the pistol bulwark and let's take it with a bunch of directives. Or we can even take the the pistol. Could just go pistol Headhunter.
Safe area
And just
detected.
determine through it. But in any case, let's go to character 1. So actually first just run the shield bulwark with a bunch of directives. I mean the tech tank bulwark. The bulwark tech tank. Does it look for what makes me come from a background in data analytics? No, I'm not like trained in any of those kind of things. One thing I do enjoy and I kind of do quite a bit. I like figuring out why things work and don't. Both in like a mechanical sense, but also in like a design sense. So I do pride myself in like figuring out like if I see a nice design of going, oh, why does this work? Why does this layout work and stuff? And I find, especially with, for instance, spreadsheets like that and such, if I, just even for myself, if I lay them out correctly like that, also, I just see one mistake I'm going to fix there. As one isn't shaded correctly. Okay, it's these two. Oh, shit. I find that, yeah, it just draws the eye and just makes it so... Like, legibility to me is very much a function of design. And because of that, I don't mind spending a bit of extra time prettying something up. Yeah, let's say cool skills and ragers. Basically, we take this 7. I don't want to deal with special ammo, especially disrupt rounds. I don't want to deal with scavenge skills. I have a shield, and I don't want to deal with no regen because I want to regen. So we take everything but. And yeah, we're not going to run a pesty build. We're going to run... Because this build actually is kind of made for this, exactly, which is just... Well, not... Actually, do I have reanimated on? I don't. Let's also turn reanimated on. Don't have it on yet on this character. But this setup was kind of made originally as well, just for Summit with a bunch of directives, because I can deal with them, and I don't have to run a like a Headhunter build. It will just be kind of like running and gunning. I likely could put Determined on that pistol and get away with it. it would still likely be like a one. Each shot would be a headshot. Especially if we put harvest on it. I should actually try it with the harvest. Because I feel this by itself can still just a one-shot headshot. But yeah, I don't have a background in like either maths or like data work or anything. Most of my life I've worked as a technician basically. So. Which is also a field that kind of does rely on understanding systems and also, you know, just figuring systems out if you don't understand it. So I did fall into the right thing. Oh, we're on floor 17. I should have maybe picked my challenges. So one of the things with Reanimated is it does also apply actually to rogues, where a lot of these don't. Like rogues will not have polarity or stuff like that. Well, actually, does it? I thought it did. I don't know what the normal hits are. Actually, what's my buddy hit? Oh no, maybe it's not actually. Oh.
Serious trauma detected.
Sir, could you get in front of me? Oh no, it doesn't apply to them. This would be like 3 million or something.
Hostile shock trap detected.
This gun just can't keep up with me.
Alright. Okay, this build as well next season is gonna get a rework with Imminence Armaments.
Rogue agent.
And yeah, being at the edge of death there, like, that's kind of fine. They could have maybe killed me with a skill, so I was still playing it a little, like, a little fast and loose, but... yeah, let's actually take this one, Directive Deft. And yeah, let's go for Headshot Hanchi. Or did the Global Avengers not turn on? That's also an option. We'll see here. I don't have any med packs yet to even check if I do or don't have my armor bugged. But I really like this build for just Summit running. What?
Immediate medical assistance needed.
One behind me now. Lost where they went. Oh, actually, yeah, I don't have my back. There is one behind me. Okay. That makes a lot more sense now. That's fine though. We were one room in. That's what I get for being aggressive and not clearing out my backside.
Active terminal detected.
Let's do this. I'm coming. Let's see if the
Advanced AEDs nearby.
I've already seen if I could get a activity as well from my priority objectives.
Terminal infiltrated.
But also with this one as well, I shouldn't be too aggressive with it until I have my memento charged up. Then we have some regen going and such. Yeah, let's actually I could try, right? If we abandon this one. This is now 10%. Let's actually I pinned that message for a reason. In my own Discord. So this would be 573, but then, oh no, 488 plus 10%. So another 48 on top. So, well, it would need to be a lot higher than this. So this is then countdown. Yeah, let's just decrypt this one. This is the sent. We'll do that one later in the week anyway. Right. It's unlikely to get a summit anyway, so. This is a character I do my weekly descents on anyway, so. that objective will get done. Also, I'm not grinding for that anymore, really. I've gotten what I wanted from that, which is the apparel. The full set. What I want to do as well is just pick up the pickups constantly and get my intimidate going. Killer becoming so much stronger also really helped these kinds of builds, because there wasn't really good talents for it. Although on this point then I have also 2 on-kill talents in effect, because my intimidate is getting triggered through the on-kill pickups from Memento. So the first skill is gonna take the longest. That does also affect how I'll play it, because I'll go after a red or something first. And there we have the key. Let's also track this instead. Yes. Flamethrowers versus flamethrowers. And here I could add Scavenge skills to the list. But the downside is, like, I can't do stuff like that. I need to, like, keep my shield out once I have it out, unless I have a pickup at the ready. That guy was out of intimidate range. Quite a lot. And then sometimes they don't respawn even if they could. If they're kind of... The game thinks they will clip through something like there. It just doesn't respawn them. Anyway, we have the key already, I say, and instantly look into a corner if the key's there. But yeah, we don't need to keep looking for it. Oh, targeted. Targeted needs to be Hunter's Fury. Oh, I am blind. I've been playing a little bit of Warframe, and I did the movement thing of Warframe there, of crouch and then jump. Oh, there isn't the lock. And then... Also, I already saw they're gonna do Twitch drops again with the release of the DLC. It's kind of annoying. It made me want to go like, do I maybe jump into a different category? But nah, I wanna like play the DLC. But I was kind of... Actually, I could have Norwegian on here as well, because the healing of the clouds, of course. Like, I'm getting healed plenty by that.
That was one of them. I'm gonna like that. That shield can save him.
Terminal infiltrated.
Oh, and the cloud is hitting them through the wall. I'm like, what aggroed them then? That makes sense.
I sure wouldn't want to be you.
I should maybe actually check what the challenges are and maybe do some of those. But let's finish Summit first. We'll do a quick 15 floors here.
Assault drones detected.
These things have no head. But also these things don't reanimate, so. Yeah, luckily we have the key already, we don't have to look every corner. And hey there, Bran. Small raid. Any raid is always appreciated. And I hope you had a good stream. I hope you had some fun. Let's actually get your shout out there. And yeah, welcome in and welcome raiders. Over here we've been spreadsheeting for quite a bit, and we watched the video, the stream. And I guess most people were as well. And after messing around a bit with, or like doing a ton of spreadsheeting, I want to play the game. So we're over here in Summit. Partially because also, yeah, I needed some Hunter's Fury pieces for next season already. So in here getting some of those. Oh. Hostage health is critical indeed. Just gonna... Don't get close. Should be far enough away. Just waiting for the cloud to dissipate before I revive them and they die right away. But yeah, at least these hostages, they have a revive mechanic, so... and yeah, those 3 floors with 7 directives. Oh, let's get sidearm specialist because this is gonna mate for that as well. Up we go. After this mission, can you show me sort of go-to striker loadout? I mean, I don't even need to be post the mission because yeah, I can just have a recommended build list, and yeah, the top one in there, I'll put it in both chats. It'll pop up in a second. The strikers, you basically, yeah, it kind of depends as well on what you're doing and who you're doing it with. If you're with a really strong team, this is a boss one. You take a boss challenge. Like superior slaying. Because even for instance in legendary, going chest striker, I generally nowadays, like depending on the team, where normally we would say like legendary is the place for chest striker, like it turns out if with a good enough team, it's kind of hard to actually get stacks. But then, you know, chest striker, even if you're doing heroic with a bad team, kind of becomes viable. But you basically want to have all 6 pieces of striker and just play around with having and not having coyotes, having and not having the striker chest or obliterate. There's somebody else. Actually, I should trigger my intimidate. But I did that. Still hitting for 10 million on a headshot there. With this thing. All the ones getting back up in a second anyway. Wait, didn't I have loot down there? Thought I had loot down there. I got a superior slaying in. Yeah, let's go for that sidearm specialist. Swap speed FAMAS. The fix reanimated headshots. It's super overdue. Yeah, would be nice if the fix stack. At least they made it not destroy our skills anymore, but it's also not like that. I've seen some people like be like it's impossible to do public executions. It's not. Yeah, you have to just scatter everybody beforehand, so you have to kind of play it a little bit differently. But it's still faster with reanimated and like scattering everybody and then kind of playing the minigame of is this enemy close to my allies? Than it is with that, and you get the stars on top. And you get to do the bounties, which do have. It's actually... We had no region to the list? Yeah. Yeah. No, wait, whatever. Because we can just stand in the clouds. What ugly constructs? Sorry. So ugly is, yeah, obliterate, indeed. So the two general ways we set up strikers is either, you know, kind of like this with the chest, but then Coyote here, or you take a striker piece here and then you don't take the striker chest. The thing with the striker chest is it requires 200 stacks in effect to be, or it needs to be generally above 150 stacks, although 142 nowadays, I think it's 140-ish stacks to be more powerful than obliterate. So if you're generally above that number, above 140 stacks, which is not always, basically, you're better off with an obliterate. Because getting to 100 stacks and stacking up obliterate is very like doable. I'll just take that to the face. So I kind of want to have both options available to you, and you just swap between them as needed. Actually, I now realize with no regen, although I just need to be then more careful with drones. Because the drones, for instance, drone rooms like that, they don't drop clouds, so I'm not healing there. But worst case as well, I have some med packs. So. Are we ready to be ambushed?
Hostiles incoming.
Because if nothing spawned in, it's always kind of funny with Summit. If there's nothing spawned in, it's not like we get empty rooms or anything. Like if the room's empty, it's ambush. It should just once in a while just throw in an actual empty room just to throw us off. Just actual emptiness. Can use St. Elmo instead of FAMAS, right? Yeah. In general, nowadays, especially since it's more the changes towards, because the Elmo also received what could be perceived as a nerf, but in the end it was just basically the same numbers. But nowadays, Killer and Measured being so good as they are, it is a pretty big damage drop to go to the Elmo, but you get, on the other hand, you do get, the shock has some value. It's not a lot of value, but there's some value there. And yeah, of course, it handles much better than 70 rounds.
Serious trauma detected. Agent killed.
Health gate plus poison. And I'm being a little bit too aggressive there. Also, I'm kind of playing it as if I still have my regen. You know what? Let's take that no regen off, because actually that hurts me there quite a bit. Unless I'm really like paying attention. So let's return to the lobby. and take off the Norwegian, actually. Let's just take 7. 7 is enough. Although honestly as well, I don't need to have it, like, I'm not really going for the levels, but... Although, yeah, we're pretty close to 30,000. And yeah, we're likely going to get hit 30,000 in Brooklyn. I'm going to guess there's going to be a triple or quint XP at the start of next season, likely. So we'll have it as a memory that 30 happened at Brooklyn. Also, there is a silly short I want to make for for Brooklyn. I want the... So, are we keeping it red mostly? I think I'm keeping it mostly red even. So. But I would want pieces with decently rolled weapon damages, preferably. Or headshot second stat, because we could also add in a few... Option to have a few blue cores in it, if I have it that way.
Accessing server. Field terminals detected nearby.
Because of the setup I'm gonna add next season is gonna be a Hunter's Fury, but then based on the... Or Headhunter's Fury, but then also with Ninja, and then... Sir, could you shoot me on the shield? It's not polite to shoot somebody who has a shield not on their shield. Give me your hat. Don't. Should I actually see how this thing... actually, I'm gonna let them reanimate. We need to get a bunch of kills where they actually reanimate. So here and there, I'll let one reanimate.
Keep it together. Let's get...
Yeah, let's run a harvest for a second with the tournament. I'm curious what this will do here. We'll find out. We have 3 attachments with crit chance. On all of those, yeah, I think. So it says underneath it nowadays. It says that crit chance, like 3x crit chance. Or like 3 times CHC, or like, and then 0 CHD and stuff. That's that. So you can know exactly how I have it set up. But I think with all of those, it's all crit chances, all the way down. Let's get the headshot kills from this end. Anyway, some pistol there, or a pistol, or the key there. This just works. Okay. Oh, that was also high enough for. Because yeah, we're not running Headhunter here or anything. I'm running Intimidate on the chest with the Memento charged up, and we have enough oomph to just make Determine just outright work. So we could even run it like this. I don't think I will. It's just too easy. Yeah, that's why I did it. But that actually even worse. Let's go back to our other pistol. I just want to pew pew. I'm using the... So with any of the red builds, the specialization really doesn't matter much. Or well, it matters, but which one you pick specifically doesn't. Each of the specializations has a ton of things for it. So for instance, with Striker, if you're running it solo, I would say Gunner really like is overall the easiest and handiest. Because you get the armor on kill, and like if you do stand still, which I never do, you get the weapon out. And the rate of fire on kill, especially with that as well, it is on kill talent, or on kill perk. So, especially solo, you're getting all the kills. In a group setting, you're kind of, you know, competing for the kills now. But then, for instance, yeah, in group, demo is actually pretty good, giving every team, you know, everybody else in the group, you give 5 detox to them. That's kind of its perk, one of its perks, and also taking an explosion to the face once per minute and not caring. All those times you've been hit by a grenade launcher, once per minute with demo, you don't have to care about, which is really nice. For instance. Yeah, let me get you here fully. But the on red builds, you can effectively pick any of the specialization. Each of them has something that kind of matters to it. Yeah, no worries, Brandon. Yeah, thanks for the raid once more, and we'll catch you around then also. And either access and I don't know if I'm saying that right. Feel free to correct me. But yeah, welcome in, and thanks for the raid there as well as our second one there. And likely later on we'll pay it forward by raiding out as well. Because I'll likely go for another hour or so, and then kind of take a break, go eat, go do groceries, go like be a human for a little bit, and then we'll come back in the evening. And I wanna do the refactor build showcase. And that thing has become really bloated, which is maybe gonna take I'm kind of considering already maybe letting it overflow into tomorrow afternoon, maybe doing a tomorrow afternoon stream and finishing parts of it there. It's closer to a refactor masterclass than it is a refactor build showcase at this point. Right. I'm glad to hear. And fine, thanks for the kind word there, Edsus, and yeah, welcome in Raiders. We've been messing with some spreadsheets and watching that stream for a bit, so here now I'm out here just running around getting in the summit. In this build I kind of like, but I keep like not doing summits. I haven't done the summit. Oh no, actually that's not true. Last week we did with actually several summit weeklies in the end. But that was just because of the priority objectives as well, because I did pick summit whenever it came up. I've been meaning to run this thing again in here. I kind of like this thing. There's a lot of clicking with it involved though, because no auto fire, of course, on the pistols. Madam, could you? Although you're, of course, getting carried by reanimated, basically. There, yeah, we got this pistol thing done as well. So basically those, armor draw, and directive dash. Let's get directive dash in, because that one's pretty easy. How many floors are we in? Oh, we should go. I totally forgot. We have 7 at it. Danny, and Cassie. It's Wednesday. One thing I feel as well that people are kind of underestimating is how much resources you can get outside of. Because, for instance, with the blue resources, even if you're, for instance, thinking of donating, I think that might actually be a thing in the future as well. Just farming, for instance, doing countdowns and then just farming gear set pieces. Because any gear set piece you deconstruct, you get 5 from each of the blues, so you get 15 in total, in effect. And that can fill up your blues like really fast.
Detected.
And then you can
System
donate those.
curtailed.
And it is kind of the annoying thing with the shield. Is
System restored.
I'm jammed.
System
We
malfunctioning.
jamming. How did this guy... How is that guy on fire? Didn't even shoot at you, dude.
System reactivated.
Don't do it, sniper.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
Oh, I should Faraday myself.
System curtailed.
Although, yeah, with cool skills, that's not gonna work. Let's just get the numbers
System
down.
restored. System malfunctioning.
Sniper lady.
Agent killed.
At least it's on the first room of the floor. I should have tossed out my Faraday when it was full, or my artificer, and use that just for Faraday. Forget to do that.
Active terminal
Oh,
detected.
also, let's change this to... Do I have anything to get here? We can pop some. And same thing, but without a jammer. Much easier. Yep. With our memento empty once more. Yeah, I'm shooting the one in the back. Go away for a sec. Did both of you F off? No, thank you. Wait, where did she go? Oh, she ran all the way back there. Also, this is always a shitty position. Like this laptop is always annoying to get. Especially with drones and stuff as well, because they'll spawn like all the way around you.
Terminal controlled.
I'm actually gonna let a few of these respawn. Just to get a few more counters on that. Also, what pieces do I need? Because yeah, not the chest, of course, not the backpack. I think I would like it to be gloves, knee pad holster, and then the mask can be Imminence Armaments. That name as well. 'Cause how can we make even more annoying names to say? The amount of people that get refactor wrong already. Or well, go refractor instead of refactor. Although I mean, people still get memento wrong. Like the amount of times memento still pops up. But I feel just saying Imminence Armaments a bunch of times, it's gonna be interesting whenever if I do build showcase that it's in. 14.9 is close enough. That skill duration can go.
You'll suffer for that.
Doesn't make for a good chant, though. You can go like imminence, armaments, imminence, armaments, imminence. I feel that's the... If we were a Pokemon and we would, you know, do Pokemon stuff if with what we're running, that would be the thing. Oh no, I am about to be... Oh no, actually no. They're just in the back. So can I hit you in the face, please? One thing I shouldn't do, because this thing actually doesn't have as much weapon handling and stuff. I should just stand still and then shoot. That's kind of the thing I'm messing up. Just stand still. Let the weapon become accurate, and then... Please stop shooting me. Just a quick key check. You know, one funny thing is the... Even though there's a gap here, basically, and, you know, you would think you can, you know, maybe stay up here or stay down there and fight upstairs. No, there's basically a hidden floor, in this case, not a hidden wall or invisible wall as it would normally be. It's an invisible floor or ceiling in between.
Hostile drone detected. Hostile striker drone detected.
There's so many floating lamps in the summit nowadays. Alright. There is the key. Can you point to the key? Can you see the key? Where is it? Yay. SHD agent, the explorer. Any more of you? Okay, that's 10 out of 15. Yeah, let's finish up this. Let's go check Danny and such, and then we'll see what we want to do after. And I'm not gonna matchmake or anything here because people would hate it to come into this. I would guess. If you're not set up for like all the directives, it can suck. We're both gonna get shocked. No, just you. Anyway, we shoot them up the butt because they have no armor up the butt.
System curtailed.
Those are just dogs. Just all the dogs.
System back online.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and Heather Anna. Oh, actually, have you been enjoying Division? As I saw you indeed being about, of course. Actually, yeah, yesterday we raided that way, of course. But I hope you're doing well. And I hope everybody's doing pretty well out there on this Wednesday, getting ready for the Brooklyn 6 days till Brooklyn. And yeah, don't forget to have no sleep till Brooklyn. Well, actually, yeah, nah. Have a lot of good sleep till Brooklyn. Turns out if you die in real life, you also die in the game. Yeah, let's go deal with this thing.
Serious trauma detected. High risk target detected.
Oh, your owner is still alive. Where's your owner?
Alarms are no good on those shields. Survivor, got enough body bags for all of them. Keep them off our flanks. Coming in.
You know, when a mini tank is still moving around, that means its owner is still alive. I thought I already murdered that one, but I didn't.
Get in my crosshairs.
Also, I need to be closer actually to just trigger my talents. So I think that, yeah, that'll happen. It is indeed pretty good addictive game. Doing fab, nice. Especially as well having some, so you run around with some people that already know the systems and stuff, because that's usually kind of a point that, I mean, a lot of games don't do that well. Of just, they kind of just assume people will find their way to either YouTube or Google, or they'll find people to explain it, or there'll be people around to explain it, which still works out. But there's of course, yeah, bunch of systems. Yeah, let's go with armor draw, but let's see if we actually get it, because this isn't per se the build for that. My shield is strong. I'm not that strong. And yeah, let's leave that one when we're doing it with like the Heartbreaker tech tank or something that never shield breaks or armor breaks anyway. So let's just go for the 6 floors.
Hostage situation
With 4 directives at least. And we're a little bit over that. Okay. This poor hostage being taken hostage by some drones. I wonder how the drones actually communicate to the person being hostage that, you know, they're hostage now. Like just, you try to walk away and they like shoot in front of you or something. Like, how does that work? And also, how smart are these drones that they're taking hostages?
EMP jammer detected nearby.
Killer jammer. Oh, is this one of these? No, there is a spot here. And these are line of sight.
I am the arm of the forest. That'll slow that agent down.
System malfunctioning.
I'm just gonna wait for this disrupt to wear off. And then poke out.
System activated.
I'm gonna Faraday myself there as well. Although actually, when I Faraday myself, I lose my shield as well, or because of cool skills. So.
Shit, too close.
Sorry.
All going down.
Rushers don't revive.
Shit. This is fucked up.
Okay. decided to set himself on fire. Oh, nice. Where's your head? Oh, I still haven't killed.
EMP jammer destroyed.
Maybe I killed the objective. Have I considered that? Yeah, I need the Kelly as well. Oh, no, Order. At least in here he does scale. Curious to see what the next event will be for the Hoarder. Because they've been adding a ton of them to the calendar, basically. Because it used to just be Christmas, of course. And then kind of last year, they added in like August was like a summer event.
Striker drone detected.
And... or like end of June. Well, when was it? Although actually I think it was in August, right? It was like past summer.
EMP
Which was
jammer
kind of weird.
detected nearby. System back online.
And then they had Halloween, and then Christmas, and then Valentine. Was it Valentine and then April Fools plus like the April event, Easter event? Yeah, so they can still need to kind of add something maybe June-ish. And we have like every few weeks, like a month and a bit each time. Just and then there's an event with them. Running your damage seems very high for a pistol build. First of all, yeah, remember this is with reanimated, and I'm kind of shooting heads. But I'm running the high-end pistol tech tank. It's actually in the build collection as... let me kill these guys. Or accidentally die while I'm... this would be... oh, I'll put it in the chat. 1.13. Put it over there as well. But yeah, that's the build picture of it. So. But this thing I kind of like for in here. You can, of course, run Headhunter builds and such for having a bunch of directives here in Summit. But I actually like it. I like having a shooty build, basically. And here, the big thing of it is, it's not actually the damage isn't that great. It's not bad. It can definitely deal with heroic and such, especially solo skill, but it isn't that great. But reanimated, of course, kind of like takes it to extremes as long as I'm hitting headshots. But the shield is a 6-tier bulwark. Like that is pretty hefty. Getting healed by a 2-tier artificer, or actually no, 3-tier. So. But also next season, so this one, if you're going to go for this one, next season it's going to have a little bit of a shake-up because of Imminence armaments. Like actually, what was my plan? I think I'm going to take... oh yeah, it was just basically the 2 Brazos pieces and the Grupo piece. So we keep with DNH piece and Fox's Prayer, and then basically we keep the Fox's Prayer and Memento, and the other 4 slots is a combination of a DNH and 3 Imminence armaments. Here I have the chest already, so I'm gonna do the other pieces. When is that either? Which one? As it likely was in reference to something I said, but I keep saying a bunch of stuff and forgetting what I said right after I said it. This place is always annoying. There is already people there, yeah. Wait, aggro. Well, that's fine.
Another dead asshole.
These Black Tusk, they're so self-negative. Like, he knows I'm gonna kill him, but to call himself an asshole, to go like another dead asshole when I'm about to kill him. Where's your head there? I know, you can't just kill them on the ground, which is, I feel like, that is easily missed. But yeah, when they're on the ground like this, you can just make sure they don't get up with a... Like there on the mini tank, that's what kind of this build normally hits for. Which is always, you know, not too bad, but... As I say, it doesn't have a head, so... Especially when Killer is up and Intimidate is up. That's okay. Yeah, let's get these last few floors in. How many more do I need, actually? Oh, 2. So when this floor finishes on the boss floor.
Hostage situation nearby.
One thing I have as well I should use more is EMP grenades. Go for the legs. Wait, you're still alive? Oh. But I would reanimate it, just one headshot is basically enough. Although you could do it so much easier with just a determined pistol for reanimating. But I don't want to run determined too much. We'll run it when we're trying to try hard or something, but here I just want to run and gun. Where are you shooting? Oh, yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, let's go get the bathroom. This is in gear will help it scale better into heroic group contents. It's just gonna add a little bit more damage to it. Yeah, basically, if you missed it there, the other pieces are going to get exchanged for Eminence armaments to get the 3-piece. So it's going to be a DNH, and then like the mask, the glove, and the holster in this case are going to be swapped for Eminence armaments and gains a little bit of damage. But then also, yeah, it changes a little bit because the bulwark will stay 6th tier. I'm going to get one more blue core basically. Because we're getting a skill tier here from the Brazos. But without the 2 pieces Brazos there. So it will also be a 2-tier Artificer, but that's also fine. Like, this thing, the shield is not an issue anyway. It's like way too powerful already. Way more powerful than you need. And scales already pretty well for Heroic. Like, I'm comfortable doing anything on Heroic with this. I just wouldn't choose to do so on a lot of places. It's especially nice here for Summit for getting a ton of directives in. Because here we can run like 7 directives pretty easily. Like none of them really get in our way. Let's go. This crate. And this boss room is going to be nice for quickly clearing it too. Although most of the boss rooms are just one spawn point anyway, so I feel with this, they should really like alter this up as well. That it's on most spots, because they did the thing with floor 100 that used to also be just like all the way spawn from one spot. But here, only the named is gonna spawn somewhere else, perhaps even like not per se even, and everybody else spawns over there, so I can easily spawn gamma. Some bad shooting.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
Oh, I'm making a mess of it.
Agent vital signs 0.
Let's just respawn and go again. There, I missed basically every shot there. Ew. Okay. Yeah, let's make it that. I need a new mouse mat, turns out. That is like a week ago as well. Oh, it's like this spot. Okay. That makes kind of sense. It's just not registering for a little bit of it there. I think it's just gotten oily or something there, and it just can't, the sensor can't see it. So I'll go to the right, and then it'll just basically stop going to the right, and then goes to the right again. Even though I'm continuously going to the right. It's kind of in the spot where I normally have my mouse. I need to just buy a new one. Because I ran into that a little bit like a few weeks ago, and then I kind of just scrubbed the thing a little bit. And that helped for a little bit, apparently. And it's back. So now I have my mouse on a paper towel. There we go. The difference that makes.
Stop them shooting me.
No special ammo. No special. Where's the box? You don't want to deal with shock or something, so. Well, I should just remove the mouse pad. Like, my table will work for a few days. That's floor 30 and also the projects and such. Let's go get the 2 boxes here, and then yeah, let's take it back to DC. Let's go check Danny and Cassie real quick. More friends will still make an impact. Okay. I wouldn't say this is more of a solo build. In that, although actually, no, I didn't link to the build collection. I'll just link to the full build collection, but also in there's a recommended build list. Even both chance. There's a recommended build list as one of the files. In there, you'll find a bunch of recommended builds, and actually, yeah, for in-group settings, there's a bunch of stuff that you can run. For instance, I like running combat medics quite a bit, or even nowadays refactor, where you're kind of, you're giving up a little bit of your damage for some group support. But you can also run things like OD, for instance, ongoing directive, as a build that kind of works for that. It buffs allies, and then also the team can run pistolero or reduced ammo, because the OD will generate the ammo, so you get to run an extra directive, basically.
Entering safe area.
So there's stuff like that. This wouldn't per se, and the reason for it is just the tanking mechanics are not there in Division. This doesn't.
Thanks for making the
This doesn't do consistently enough damage to like if some striker is shooting at the enemy, like the enemy is gonna turn and shoot at the striker instead of keeping its focus on you. Very nice one. Okay. Yeah, then similarly as well, for instance, you can, just to shake it up, you can have stuff like Red FI, which is, for instance, in that list, which is just a future initiative, but then with red cores, so you still keep a little bit of damage. Kind of same idea. And then you apply a group buff, and you have a little bit of healing. Not a lot, but a little bit. But same for, yeah, for instance, Refactor, that then doesn't have, that can have a little bit more damage, but then has less in the form of buffs for the allies, but then heals them more consistently. So. I appreciate the trade. Because I'm very much of that. I like running that kind of stuff as well. And as well, yeah, for instance, yeah, combat medics. But combat medics are especially something that I feel work at best in seasons where there's no regen. All of those healer ones, actually. When there's no regen, there's a reason to kind of run them. Or if you're in the summit and you have no regen on, there's a reason to run them as well. Because then, you know, they're there to just give at least in-between fights healing, if nothing else. Yeah, let's go check Cassie and Danny. We've been in the summit for a while, so the snitch is not going to be on cooldown. Let's go quickly spawn him in. Because yeah, whenever you jump to a split, some of his spots, there's a chance that he basically spawns. It's not that he is somewhere, he has just basically a chance of spawning. And yeah, he has an hour cooldown, so it's best done right after logging in, or if you've been away, for instance, now in the summit for a while. You know.
I can tell you where this.
I don't think that's any bad, actually, for this zone. Danny's over there, Cassie's over there. Let's go check Cassie first. And then we'll go get our caches from Danny. Oh, actually, sorry. I missed that one earlier, open world. Did the dev stream already happen? Yeah, it was actually super early. Like, I didn't know until I was literally around 2 o'clock this afternoon. I was like, okay, when do I start streaming? And then I looked actually at the... At the thing, I was like, it would start at 2:30 my local time. When usually they start at like 4 o'clock or 4:30 my local time. So, but also, yeah, it didn't. There was really nothing new in the dev stream. It was much more of them reiterating everything that has been said so far, but like in one place. That was the feeling that I like walked away with. Really, the only new thing we learned from it is, yeah, they're not gonna take any steps against anything done with the extra exotics that some people got, you know, by the truckload. Even those that may have overdone it with it, but yeah, basically they're going a mea culpa and just, you know, our fault, and that's just that. But it was basically all information that we already knew. Because also nothing new of like, this is the new streamline number, or this is the new or we've fixed Tinkerer, or this is the new nimble holster in DZ and conflict number, or stuff like that. It's kind of yeah, we could make a perfect intimidate skill build. Oh yeah, no. That hunter killer is the worst in a while. Nothing of real value here. Not to be expected either, but we do come and check. And yeah, let's go see what Danny has for us. Was there actually like anything else that was kind of like new that we weren't certain about? Well, they kind of gave confirmation on a bunch of stuff. Like, yeah, for instance, the triple time or the 3 times resources applies to everything from the watch, which, you know, I would hope so.
Somebody must have been watching over us.
And they kind of talked about, yeah, stretch goals being a every season thing from now on, which I already kind of said, but they really try to hammer home that they're gonna, like, the contents might be different next time, which hint hint. But well, we'll see what all that means. That's part of me as well. It's just like I didn't submit any questions or anything, and thing is, I'll see the final version. We'll have the final version in a week. Knowing it now doesn't change anything. Really interesting, assuming they bug fix it. Yeah, although they have some time, because yeah, that one is going to be attached to the climax mission, so that's still like 10 weeks out.
You want to trade?
Ish. Do I want any other of these? Not really. I'm going to fill up my watch anyway. Or my resources from the watches anyway. So. And these are meaninless. And would only cause me to...
Advanced AEDs in proximity.
I was going to say, rogues here. So we'll just take the one exotic component. Which I definitely can use, because actually I'm how low am I on exotic components now? I got 44. I did spend a ton of them recently. That was actually before even... It wasn't because of the 999 and like going like, maybe I get it, but actually it was before that even. But I wanted to spend those down quite a bit already. For a while, because I was on like 700 and that's kind of overkill. Like, having those exotic components there doesn't do anything for you, you know. Put it on weapons and actually run them there. But I took a bunch of weapons to 25. Yeah, let's actually round it out here. Giving myself a little bit of a break as I'll go and go eat, rest for a bit. I'll likely take a nap even. And then maybe even I might even start a little bit earlier with this evening stream where we'll go and look at Refactor, which, for instance, the spreadsheet is made for. Actually, one thing, wait, I didn't even check that. So normal Refactor, right? Is that more damage combined than a Redify? Yeah, by quite a bit. Although, of course, yeah, you're not giving the group, of course. But yeah. So we'll do a Refactor build showcase this evening, and go through the 3 different variants I have in the build collection. Actually, technically 4 even. So that might be like a lot of. This might be a 2-hour build showcase in the end. I'm still considering, do I cut maybe one of them at least or something? We'll see. We'll see what we do. I'll think on the fly on it. But yeah, on the Twitch end, of course, we're going to go raid and pay it forward, as well as we got raided a bunch today. Let's see who is available for us to raid. Yeah. Let's go with GC, because Atosi's up, but I think he might be finishing. He usually finishes around the same time, like if I'm on the afternoons. I think GC is going to go for a while. Where is he? Where is this? It's rare for me to look at a place and not like instantly be able to tell you where it is. Or is this one of the class of that? Oh! Jesus Christ. It's a small screen, but yeah, that's Div 1, isn't it? Actually. So yeah, he's in Div 1. That's why I didn't recognize it. Oh, actually, that's the Calcasi thing in Div 1. Oh, and either tasty. I was just about to maybe consider rating you, but because yeah, I'm ending off here as well. But yeah, thanks for the raid. But we're gonna take that ship and we're gonna turn it around and who do we go for? Because yeah, let's see who's in the category actually. Further than the people that I'm following, because most of the people are kind of. Although we still go with GC, even if he is in Div 1. Because I enjoys me some Div 1 from time to time as well. Yeah, let's just go with GC. We'll just go with that. But yeah. I'm too old and slow. Yeah. Although I was just saying that I think Toasty is likely ending off as well. But yeah, welcome in Raiders. But we're gonna take that boat. We're gonna make 2 boats now. We're gonna just turn it about and send it off to GC, as I do need to jump off here. But I'll be back in the evening for a refactor build showcase and some recording there and some play there. So maybe join me for that. But for now, let's go raid GC. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thanks, and yeah, sorry, Tasty. We'll make sure to let GC know as well that some are coming from over there, although actually a bunch. But yeah, thanks everybody for joining me. Hope you found it enjoyable in some form or way and didn't cringe too much or cringed a lot, because that's also, we're going for that. So we'll send everybody to GC Rock. Enough rambling for me. I'll be back in the evening. And as always, have a good day.